Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados here on Think Critical YouTube. Your Saturday morning delight is back, and Sully is dressed like a pimp with a French press. What's with the shirt?
I'm feeling very, very colorful today, being because it'll reflect my language as well. Colorful metaphors. Was that what they said in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home? Well, it would have doubled dumbass on you. Colorful metaphors, Spock. No, I just wanted a little color. It's a nice day. First day of August.
So you're going to wear that to meet the hobbits?
Actually, I'm going to. I'm being consistent with my other photos. I got a t-shirt. I got t-shirts made of my logo, the super mantra, the super Om, and I wear that t-shirt in the pictures. So I got a picture with Bill Shatner. Then I got a picture with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and I'm wearing the same. So I'm going to wear the same t-shirt to keep it consistent for the photos.
Yeah, but won't it look like you don't have clothes?
No. Well, they tell it's weird because everyone else wears black and dark colors, so it's like my wearing white. It offsets that. It really does, and it shows that I'm a good guy because I'm wearing white.
I've been specifically told if you design any T-shirts for your comic book YouTube channel, they should always be designed with black shirts in mind.
Really, I could pull off a black shirt with this. Maybe I would I would like to get my logo and then do the red blood streaks on it and put that on a black T-shirt.
Like a Halloween
look like yeah, that would be cool. Like Superboy Prime-ish. That'd be awesome.
Very nice. We got AL in the house having some leftover salt and pepper pork. That sounds delicious.
Nice.
We got the Grizz, Kaiser Jose. All the good peoples are here. It's a big weekend. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Spider-Man blew up.
What?
It did.
Yeah.
Big.
Spider-Man everywhere.
Bigger opening day than Endgame, which felt like it would probably be impossible. But
really? Oh, nice.
Look, people really, really like this version of Spider-Man.
Apparently. Is it the best version of Spider-Man we've ever gotten, Dylan?
No. Spectacular Spider-Man is still the best, but it's good.
Spectacular Spider-Man?
In live action?
Yes. Yeah, but he just said Spider-Man. He didn't say.
I know.
Oh.
We are
Is it the best live action then? Is that the reason that it's doing so well?
I mean, Spider-Man 2 is still the best Spider-Man movie. It's crowned.
Yeah, but is that the
safe.
best version of Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire was like old man Spidey.
He wasn't that old. Tom Holland's 30 now.
Oh, I think he was like 40.
He was not 40.
Tom Holland, he's like Luke Perry. He's always going to be a teenager,
Wait, Tobey Maguire? Tobey was pushing 50 at that movie.
Toby's 50 now.
I know.
Oh, he's like 80. He's a fucking hobbit, man.
Toby just married like a 20-year-old woman, literally 20, and like he's 32 years older than her. And it's like
good for her. Good for him.
Yeah. He can afford it.
So you think Spectacular Spider-Man is the best version of Spider-Man we've gotten anywhere?
That is my favorite. Yeah. I love that show.
Spectacular.
How many seasons?
2 seasons.
2. That's it?
Yep.
How come every time you like something that's a cartoon, it only gets 2 or 3 seasons?
Well, this thing happened, and then, the whole Disney thing happened with getting Marvel, and so they tried to move it to Disney XD because it was on, like, Kids WB on, Saturday mornings, and then they tried to move it to Disney XD and then killed it after a season on Disney XD because they, like, this isn't our thing, so they killed it, and they did that Ultimate Spider-Man show that sucked.
Yeah. I don't know, like, for some reason, my kids absolutely love the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse stuff.
Your kids and everyone else's kids love that movie. A lot of people think those are the greatest movies ever made.
I don't get it.
I don't either. They're very
not
pretty.
Bad, but they're not.
They're very pretty looking. The soundtracks are nice, but beyond that, I don't think there's much to them. I think they're fine.
Yeah, my kids think they're the tits. I think that's what they said. They said, "Dad, put that on. It's the tits." Oh, it's
because visually they move quick like a child's mind, so it keeps their attention.
That they do, and they're very, very bright and colorful.
Mm-hmm. Your children? Of course they are.
Kids are also bright and colorful.
Yes, they are.
Mr. Sparrow, welcome to the party.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Where is Lepresti going to make it?
I don't know. Did you invite him?
You said you invited him. You said Lepresti's going to join us on Saturday.
No, I said he wanted to join us on Saturday.
Oh.
You would reach out and establish and send him the link and the whole bit.
I was under the impression that, well, I did send him the link and I sent him all the topics yesterday, but I was under the impression that you'd already done all the work. I just
No,
had to send the
I've not done any of the work.
Aaron, I think your mic might need some tuning. You sound a bit loud.
A little hot.
Well, I mean,
Is
that's
he
just
hot?
That's just me.
Hot.
Let me go try to get a hold of Lepresti, and then I'll come back and I'll see what we can
Maybe
do.
maybe it's digital con crud he's got. And he's trying to,
Actually, I do have
a touch of it.
Yeah, a touch of it. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Oh, but I want to hear all the stories.
right
Did
Okay.
you see Spider-Man yet?
No, I was supposed to go see it yesterday, and then my friend had to back out, and so I was just like, I don't care.
Nah. Would have been better. if
I
you'd
didn't
gone
care
and
enough
seen it.
to. I mean, I reached out to another friend, and I was like, "Hey, can you be at the theater in an hour?" And I was like, and I was like, "All right, never mind then."
You already had the tickets, though.
Yeah. So just canceled.
Well, very nice. So you go do the little Presti thing, and I guess we'll talk about some God books and stuff like that.
All
So,
right, yeah.
Dylan, you did see the film. What the
Yeah.
hell did you do, Sparrow? That was not me.
Oh, that was an accident, but it's a good taste of your own medicine when you throw us up full screen.
Hey,
Like
look
I
at
don't
me.
do full screen on my face all the time. I record videos.
Behold the full
Did you
West.
catch us by surprise? You're like, and we're like, oh.
Here you go. Some of
So,
that.
Dylan, you have seen the Spider-Man film.
Yes, I watched it last night.
We don't want to spoil too much.
I won't
But,
spoil anything.
There's some information out there. What were your impressions? Were you impressed with it? Do you think it's a great film?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I had a fun time. Visually, it looks great. Like it looks really nice. It looks like not like a sloppy MCU movie, but an actual movie. And I love the suit. But yeah, I had a good time. I liked it.
Well, very nice. So you would suggest that one? Is it in your top 5 of the year so far?
No,
Ooh.
not my
Ooh,
top
no.
5.
Is it better than Supergirl?
Well, yes, a lot better than Supergirl. Supergirl's in my bottom 5.
So it's your number one superhero movie then.
Yes.
How many villains were there? Was it an overstuffed production? Because it seemed like that was a potential.
No, it's not an overstuffed production. Not at all. I would not say that. Like, for instance, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but like everything to do with Hulk is done like by halfway in the movie.
Very nice.
Okay.
Good
So,
for him.
yeah.
It was great to
What
keep
a-
him off the red carpet too, and like no Ruffalo this year. They're like,
So it did not. It's not overstuffed. By the trailers and everything, you'd think it might be, but I would say no.
What did you think about the movie version adaptation of Scorpion? We'd seen him tease, but we've never really seen him live action.
I mean, there's some cool action involving him, but there's not really much to him at all. He's just
No, I'm
kind
talking
of.
about like the costume. Does he look pretty dope and everything?
Well, you've seen that. You've seen what he looks like. That's what he looks like in the movie.
There's not more than that.
No, he doesn't get greener, sadly.
And he doesn't wear a mask, apparently.
No, he doesn't.
But he's pretty cool.
I mean, there's some cool action with him, but like there's not really much to him at all. Sadly, I like the actor a lot. He played Voss in Far Cry, he did an incredible job there. But they don't really give him much to do in this movie.
No, Michael
Then
Mando's
we-
great on Breaking Bad too. Like it feels like he should have had a more substantial kind of role. But I mean, what do you do? Because they don't really have J. Jonah Jameson. I mean, I know they do, but they don't. He's not a fleshed out character. He was just a
They made him
Jason
Alex
showing up.
Jones. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just him
stupid.
showing up in 3 for no real reason, except that they could get him. So yeah, it's just kind of like, did they establish the Spider-Man kind of world any better than they have in the previous ones where he's just been Iron Lad?
They establish it a little bit more here because he's like, but was cool seeing about this one is like he's very much like a part of New York City, and like everyone really likes him. He's working with the police and stuff like that. He's very much like a part of the city in this one. Since you know what happened with the last one, which with everyone forgetting him, he's gone ham on being Spider-Man, and that's like how it's going for the first part of this movie. And I'm assuming like Aunt May had life insurance or something, because there's no job in this one. So I'm guessing he just got like a life insurance payout from Aunt May dying, and that's what he's doing.
So he's
Catch
not
the
like
last of those
bumbling
Stark
around
tips.
delivering pizzas.
No, it is funny though, because they there is a lot of product placement in this movie, and one of it is Little Caesars. So it's like you're in New York and you're buying Little Caesars.
Little Caesars is amazing. You can just show up there and get like a $5 large pepperoni.
You can't anymore, but trust me, I love Little Caesars. But if you're in New York and like, especially if you know, if you are trying to play the broke card, still like you can still get cheaper slices than like going to Little Caesars. It was just very funny.
Yeah, you'd be going to Famous Ray's or Famous Original Ray's or Original Famous Ray's or the Original Famous Ray's or the Famous Original Ray.
They're like a quarter of a pizza too, and they're
Are you
so
telling
good.
me I can't get a $5 pie at fucking?
Not anymore.
No, I think it's like $8 now.
What?
But California is hard to judge because you know they arbitrarily raised the minimum wage for everybody working in fast food to $20. So now everything is ridiculously expensive. You want to get a value meal at McDonald's, you're spending $20.
Man, the worst product placement I've ever seen was in a Transformers movie with Mark Wahlberg. And like all this weird shit happens, and this Bud Light truck falls over, and he just like cracks one and chugs it right there. Like,
is that any worse than the Mountain Dew machine that gets turned into a Decepticon?
No, I think the Bud Light was weirder. At least it makes sense that you'd have a Mountain Dew Decepticon if it got a little Allspark in it, right?
I love the idea of it just like firing cans at people at high speed.
So what did they do with Punisher? Obviously not getting into spoilers, but I was a huge fan of Punisher, obviously, during Daredevil season 2. Didn't love him as much as his own solo show, but I'm waiting for John Bernthal to like recapture the magic. Does that happen here?
I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of Punisher type things to do, but him and Tom Holland are great together on screen. They have really good chemistry, and I like Punisher a lot in this movie, but he doesn't have too much to do. But it's not a spoiler because you see it in the trailers and clips they've released. But when he fights Hulk, that's probably like the best Punisher stuff in the actual movie, because outside of that, he doesn't have too much to do. Because like I said, it's not over stuff. It's very much a Spider-Man story. Like it's not like a big old team up, but him and they do a good job of, it feels very natural of like, oh, these are two dudes that are working in the same city together, and like they've run into each other before. Like it feels very natural the way they establish that, and when they're on screen together, it's great.
Man, so Spider-Man wasn't like cutting his balls out, calling him a murderer and stuff.
No, there's none of that. No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but they do mess with each other.
Well, yeah, that's just bros being bros, right?
Yeah. I was surprised there's none of that. There's none of like calling Punisher out, talking about how everything he does is bad or anything like that.
So how was Zendaya? Did she look amazing?
She looked good. This is the best she's looked in any of these movies.
I was going to say that's impossible. They don't make her look good ever in any film. She has never been attractive in film.
But what about The Greatest Showman?
I was going to say The Greatest Showman. She looked perfectly fine.
I never saw that.
She even smiles in that movie, I think.
Doc's like, I'm sorry, I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am.
I watched it with my oldest at the time.
Yeah.
Did Ned lose weight or did he get bigger?
He's like the same, and they still have not figured out a way to make that wig look real. That wig still just, no matter what, he's just got such a bald head. I guess there's just no wig that'll work. But
I'm just so tired of that dude. I don't know. I don't think he adds anything.
They should do the Kurt Angle thing where he just puts the wrestling earmuffs on with the wig underneath it, just to keep it in place.
Just for no reason, he's got wrestling earmuffs on. I'd like that.
I love that version of Kurt Angle when he was walking around after he had his shed shaved. I thought that was great. It's so funny. So you recommended that one. Were there any good trailers? I do remember back in the day, the trailers might have been like the most exciting part of a movie.
I don't remember any trailers, but also I got there like right when I saw like one trailer before, and then it's
Sure,
all
there's
just
the
the in-house
Doomsday.
heads.
Yeah, I'm sure they put Doomsday in there. Okay, so I played the Doomsday trailer for Marie last night. And
Normie
halfway through it-
Marie.
yeah. And halfway through it, she said, "Is this fake? Is this one of those AI trailers?" She thought it was fake. And I was like, "Yeah, it looks fake, doesn't it?" It's really weird.
It's not the most exciting trailer, but I think
No,
the big
but-
problem with the Doomsday trailer is that it just shows too many characters that you don't care about.
Well, also
Yeah.
it shows that they're not in the same room because they're all standing in like static poses, like on these what looks like the volume, that shitty thing that they use for the Mandalorian, where everything looks kind of like washed out and not really there.
Yeah,
The whole
And
trailer looks that way.
the blocking's weird on all of it because you can tell they're editing characters out again on this trailer. Like they're trying to keep the surprise, so everything looks super weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was one of the big things that we've been teased about this film. Unfortunately, I think there was a singer that might have accidentally given out the spoiler about the big reveal, which we won't do here
No.
or even confirm it.
Everybody
But was the reveal of who the big villain is? Was it effective? Was it cool?
I didn't care about like the reveal, really. No.
Was it because you'd already heard the news of what it was going to be?
I mean, I heard this months ago, like a year ago.
It's
So
been talked about a lot.
yeah, I've been talking. It's one of those things where it's like, I really wish Marvel would just give up on like trying to have everything be so secretive and just care about telling a good story. Especially like, at least with this one, a lot of it looks like it was filmed on location. But like a lot of like we're just talking about with the volume, a lot of Marvel movies, they're like, they don't want people taking pictures on when they're on location and stuff getting leaked, and so it's like we'll film everything on a soundstage or on the volume or something. It's like just film on location, just make a good movie, like tell a good story. I don't need a surprise to enjoy the movie. Like, oh wow, that thing happened.
If you want to keep a secret, what would have been a good secret to keep is that Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom, and then at the end of the movie he takes the mask off, and it's that way you didn't even need Robert Downey Jr. to be there for most of the film. You just have a guy in a suit and you do the voiceover.
Yeah, but how do you get people to clap and get excited and pre-order tickets to your movie that you haven't built up at all?
Well, I think that you show an Ozempic Steve Rogers, Casual America, in Captain Shirt Pants, with the hammer. I think that was the big moment, right?
Mr. the Presty, you made it, sir. I'm so sorry. Apparently, we mixed things up, and Sparrow was supposed to have ironed all this.
Oh,
stuff
I was
out.
supposed to. I told you that was what I did. I said, "Hey,
You
Aaron,
said no. Presty's joining us Saturday. All right,
it's Saturday morning. What can I tell you? I'm terribly sorry, but I am ready to go. I apologize for being
that's
a
great.
little
You got the
late.
Marvel Comics shirt on, looking great. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I did that for my grandson so he can pick out all the characters. 2.5 years old, and I've already got him trained. So,
Man, who's his favorite Spider-Man? Has he seen the Miles Morales stuff?
no, he just my son got him action figures at a very early age, and he just gravitated to. He likes Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hulk. And I show him those. Remember the 1967 cartoon shows? The really old ones where they took like shots from the comic books and just sort of moved them around a little bit. So we show him the openings to that stuff, and that. But he hasn't actually watched any of the movies or more modern stuff yet. But he's already obsessed with the superhero stuff and a little bit of Star Wars too. So you could say we're training him right.
Oh yeah, you got to get him hooked on the good stuff
Yeah.
at an early age. My 5-year-old, a couple of years ago, he discovered Hulk, and he was watching like a cartoon, I think, on Disney Plus or something. We still had it, and he just started breaking stuff and yelling "Smash." We were like, "All right,
That's,
No more
that's
Hulk.
what he does. He goes Hulk smash. And he goes like
yeah."
that.
I think he thought he had carte blanche to just destroy the house. What are you doing?
I know we
See,
gotta be
like,
careful about that.
what you got to do, Lepresti, is you got to find him one of those talking Hulk Toy Biz figures, where it's like all the figures had a backpack. So like you'd push a button and they'd say something like, "That's where the whole Venom I want to eat your brain came from."
Yeah, I
was from that toy.
my when that came out, and then I heard that it was like getting like not recalled or banned or something because of the I'm gonna eat your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we ran to Toys R Us searching for if we could find one before, you know, they were all gone. And there was one I saw in the aisle, and there was a kid at the other end and me at the other end of the aisle, and we ran for it. I got it before the kid did. I almost feel guilty, because then I think, you know, I saved the kid from having something he probably shouldn't have. So
That's right.
Good looking out.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure,
exactly.
you had to give him a Kinshasa, which is like a knee to the face to get that venom.
Well,
figure out of
you
his
know,
hand,
I
but, you know.
said, this is for your own good. You know, I hope you understand.
Just Superman punched a child.
Exactly. You know, you do what you got to do to save America's youth.
Well, you don't want to be like Sparrow and have a crippling action figure addiction as you get older because of all your wonderful memories as a child playing with the toys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you have an entire storage unit dedicated to your toys?
I under advice of counsel, I have decided to invoke the Fifth Amendment.
You should have seen the bags and boxes that guy got at San Diego. It's like, hey,
man.
Aaron, can you watch my booth for 5 minutes? That's why I brought you here. And he's like, yeah. And he'd come back with like 40 action figures. And he's like, I'm going to rip this guy's head off and put somebody else's on here. And I'm going to. It's really sad, actually.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
You just looked at him and just like shaking your head.
I know. It's like, how old are you? No, I'm kidding. I had put a moratorium on action figure buying because I absolutely have no space left. So no more statues, no more action figures. I don't have any place to put them.
So you went with multiple different. You would do statues and action figures because Aaron will only do action figures because they all have to be the same size or something.
Yeah, well, I'm not that, you know, out of control. But if I saw something I thought looked really good, if it was a statue, I'd get it. If it was an action figure, I'd get it. But I have no room. Anyway, as you can see, just the garbage piled up behind me. There's just no room. So I finally said,
"Those are trophies, sir."
I got an alligator head back there. I've got a Jaws game, a Frazetta book. I mean, there's just anything.
So how was your San Diego Comic-Con? I know Sparrow was there with you at the booth and everything. He said it was a really good time.
Yeah, I think he hurt business for me. You know how people are with Aaron in person, but no, it was very average money wise, but I sold a ton of books, which was really usually I sell a ton of artwork and a couple of books, and this time I sold a ton of books, which was nice because then I didn't have to ship them back, and picked up some new contacts which is really bizarre for me because I don't expect to go to San Diego and get work opportunities, but that's still sort of happening. It's still sort of happening, excuse me. And so that's a good thing. And I got to meet, we both talked to Sean Gordon Murphy, which I had never met him before. And apparently, Sparrow, you hadn't either, right?
No, I'd never met him before.
But he came up.
Nice guy.
He's a super nice guy. He lives in Portland, Maine. And so he usually comes to the Boston cons. I'm hoping to run into him next week. And
fantastic artist.
Yeah. And he's a super nice dude too. Yeah. I reached out to him once and I was like, hey, can I bring you anything to the con? And he was like, yeah, can you bring me some power bars? So I went to the weightlifting store and got him some really expensive power bars. So when I got there, it was his lunch break and I was like, I missed him.
So you were stuck with a bunch of power bars?
No, I left it for him and I hope he ate them. You know what I mean?
Somebody probably did.
But he's got a race car book coming up, I think, from Image.
Yeah, he was telling us a little bit about it. It sounds really interesting. And of course, him drawing race cars will be great.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit like the modern AI self-driving cars, like driving cars is illegal in the future, like outlaw kind of thing going to it. But Sean Gordon Murphy drawing cars and doing car chases is like, that's the way to go.
Yeah. So yeah, there was you always go there and you hope you want to meet a couple people you haven't met before, which I did, but you also catching up with people you haven't seen, in some cases since the last San Diego or earlier. So all in all, I think it was a pretty good show.
I saw Andy was there. I saw, I think, a picture of you and Aaron with Andy, right?
Yeah. Anna, Star Wars Girl, was there. She actually showed up at like an hour and a half to go in the show, and she'd been walking around. Of course, she's pregnant now, and she's like, God, can I sit down? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so she actually hung out and helped me break down, which I kind of felt guilty for, making a pregnant woman help me break down my booth. But, you got to take advantage of the opportunities you have. So
it's not even that hard to break down.
Put 'em to work.
It's like, we had to take down the, all these girders and stuff that we'd put.
No,
up,
she was like
taking,
taking books down and table stuff. And I took down the stuff where I had to get on a chair. I wasn't going to make her do that, But.
And bring my dumbbells up to my attic.
Yeah. Can you haul these? Yeah.
Here's a $5 in for you. Here you go.
So, Aaron, we've got something coming out right now that we hadn't actually seen from you in a while. I think it's you and Dane Abnett on a Zorro book.
Yeah, that.
Didn't make me excited about the experience. What happened?
Well, I did 2 issues for them, and then they weren't able to continue to. They asked me to take a pay cut to do the rest of the, which I was unable to do. So I did the first 2 issues and all 4 covers for the Zorro Legacy, which is really. It's there's a little bit of it's a story about how the Zorro mantle is passed down. Generation to generation, and so it's sort of the most modern version of Zorro. Like his uncle is like still doing the classic Zorro bit, but they're doing it in Los Angeles in the future. He's still got his swords and all this kind of stuff, and then his nephew takes up the mantle, but he wants to modernize his weaponry and all this kind of stuff, and so an organized crime thing. So it's actually a pretty good read. But unfortunately, I'll only be doing the first 2 issues.
I was unaware of that. That was news to me. But definitely get the first 2 issues because it's going to look like $1 million.
I know. I almost feel the guilty bringing it up because it's kind of like, but I mean, people are going to find out eventually that I'm only on the first 2 issues. So. But the independent market is challenging, and as is the regular market. Marvel and DC are finding plenty of challenges themselves. So you take some of these projects and you just take it issue by issue and hope that sales are where they're supposed to be or where they want them to be, and if they're not, then you got to be prepared to kind of roll with the situation. So
what was it like working with Dan? I'm a huge fan of his. He's done some really cool stuff on Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's probably what he's most known for, but he's done really good Alien stuff, Predator stuff.
He's doing a really good job on Flash Gordon right now on Mad Cave. Like, excellent stuff. Loving it.
Yeah, I didn't other than a couple of initial emails. It's the same old story that people always ask you, what was it like working with a writer or whatever? And a lot of times, even back working at Marvel and DC, you hardly ever talk to the writer. You get the script in and you draw it. And so I thought the scripts were really good. He's a good writer, and that's really, what I look at is. You can tell if a guy knows what they're doing or if they don't know what they're doing based on, are they jamming too much on a page? Are they don't have a good understanding of, the visual rhythm of, the story and things like that. And I just found his scripts to be really good, really tight. I mean, they were complete scripts, dialogue, and all that kind of stuff. But I just thought I think it's a well written script, and that's about and that's all I'm looking for. It says don't give me stuff that I have to go in. If you're gonna give me a finished script, I don't want to have to go in and redo it for you because you're putting too much information on a page or not enough, or you're emphasizing the wrong thing visually or things like that. And like I said, it was well written, so I had no problems with it.
So can we expect more Aaron Lepresti and maybe not Marvel or DC, but some of these smaller publishers out there if the opportunities come around?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I'm always leery about saying something before anything's been announced because then I don't want anybody getting pissed at me. But yeah, I'm working on something right now. How's that for being
cool?
Incredibly vague?
Well, I'm glad you had a good time at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm very glad to see that you're on, 2 issues of Zorro. It sucks that you didn't do all 4 issues, but I completely understand where you were not willing to renegotiate a rate.
Yeah, well, at some point it becomes like, well, why am I doing this? If I'm not going, because it takes me a certain amount of time to do something, and it's kind of like, especially when I'm crowdfunding. I've got other projects, and the thing with the Zorro thing was that it was supposed to fit in between right after I shipped Wraith of God 3 and before I launched Barbaric Adventures, and because I don't launch anything during the holidays because, for obvious reasons, people, Christmas and that money's getting usually spent on family stuff. And so I don't want to try and crowdfund, against that. So I had like 4 or 5 months where I'm not going to be crowdfunding. So I thought this will fit nicely in there. But anytime you're dealing with a licensed property, and Sparrow knows this, that sometimes the approval process can really get drawn out. And so I didn't get the second script for Zorro until I was ready to launch Barbaric Adventures. So then I had this overlap and I was like, oh crap, how am I going to do this? And so in a way it worked out that I can only do the first 2 issues because then I had to get on Barbaric Adventures, which I'm working on right now. And so I'm trying to, whenever I take outside work, I try to fit it in between crowdfunded projects, and that way I'm not delaying the crowdfunder to do a job. So hopefully this next one will fit nicely right where it needs to.
Very nice. Sparrow, did you get to see the Iconic guys at San Diego Comic-Con?
No, I didn't know they were there.
Yeah, didn't you see their big announcement? They're doing a Common America Street Fighter crossover.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a little bit about that. Just from working with Udon, but no, I didn't know that they were there. And they didn't make any attempt to let me know that they were. So,
well, it sounds like you didn't tell them you were there either. You guys probably should have talked to each other because you were both there. I would have said hi to them.
I would have too had I known, but yeah, I had no idea. But I mean, I don't know. Is it not fairly well known that I'm at San Diego every year, and do I not talk about it on my social media?
I have no idea. But I thought that was pretty cool news.
That is pretty cool news. That's actually a good couple of properties to cross over, I think.
Yeah, could be a lot of fun. And then Sully, you're going to be at Boston Fan Expo?
Yes. So next week, I have an 11:40 a.m. date with all 4 Hobbits. I'm getting my picture taken with Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd. And my heart is gushing with fan geek love right now. I'm just like, oh my god, that's gonna be so cool. Really
very cool. Who's your favorite Hobbit, dude?
Samwise. So I want to give Sean Astin a high five. Say Goonies never say die, and I met my Rosie. I met my Rosie Cotton. You know what I mean? Sam was always my favorite character because he's the real hero. And he's the loyal friend, and he got the girl in the end. It took him going to hell and back for him to summon up the courage to ask the girl out. I really like that in him. Yeah.
Well, technically, when he comes back, she basically has to ask him out because he's still shy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's nice. And dude, Elijah Wood. And I'm such a big Lost fan too. So to meet Dom, that's gonna be fun too. There's a Lost photo op too. So he's doing 2. I didn't want 2 pictures with him because he's doing a picture with Sawyer and the Time Lord guy. He was like the guy who was on Stuck in Time, and I'm like, I don't want 2 pictures of Dom. I already paid for one. So yeah.
Very nice. You know what's
Listen,
weird
yeah.
is Billy Boyd was probably in the best movie out of all of them outside of The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh. Which one was
Master
that?
and Commander.
Oh, really? I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
know,
he was the guy on the helm.
Really?
You've never seen Master and
I've
Commander?
never seen Master and Commander. No,
Why not?
because just it hasn't
Okay,
happened
that's
yet.
Sully. I haven't either.
Why have you
thank
not seen
God.
Master? It's one of the great war movies of all times. It's all about brotherhood and camaraderie and surviving. You know, while you're an ocean away from your home.
And like if you're a Star Trek fan, that's how a Starfleet ship is run, the military way. Not taking your shoes off and curling up with a book on your captain's chair. It's like Holly Hunter.
This they say that Master Commander is the best Star Trek film. So
I've heard that.
Yes, you could make a Star Trek movie based off the events of Master and Commander. It would be amazing.
They should just remake that.
no, isn't Sean Astin like promoting, or isn't there like he put on social media or something about how he had to sell his house because he didn't make any money off Lord of the Rings? Is that true?
I have no idea.
That seems like he saw it on Facebook. Facebook is just full of lies now.
Okay, all right. Because I was thinking surely he's had some royalties coming in or something.
But wait. What do you mean Facebook is a pack of lies? What about those Warzone nonas, Wes? You know, the nonas that go into the war zones and they make a ton of spaghetti.
I don't believe that.
I saw
believe
AI
the thing.
images of that. That's got to be true.
Like,
Looked as real as the Avengers Doomsday trailer.
Yeah, especially the sports posts, they're all lies everywhere.
But
It's weird.
I will say this much: next week, I'm looking forward to seeing Jeremy Adams. He's going to be at Boston Fan Expo, and Tom King will be there too. I just might ask Tom King a question. I'm thinking about it because I have a.
So you brought Sean Gordon Murphy power bars. What are you going to bring Jeremy Adams?
Well, it's not going to be a paper bag on flame. That's going to be for Tom King. No, I might bring last week's new issue of Green Lantern and dispute some Green Lantern facts with the writer. I'm thinking about that. But
I think he'll like that.
I think so. Yeah, it'll be fun. But I want to ask Tom King, like, who was the Green Lantern that was supposed to have died in Heroes in Crisis #1? Because in that last page, when Clark's looking around with this telescopic supervision, there is a Green Lantern logo, in one of those panels, and it was never revealed. And I'm thinking maybe it was supposed to be Guy Gardner because he goes ahead and kills him in that, the one with ice and the Human Target one, So I'm thinking maybe he was going to kill the guy of all the Green Lanterns, but there was supposed to have been a Green Lantern who got killed as part of that. So
I think I would ask him, how does it feel now that the general movie-going public has rejected your ideas as thoroughly as the comic industry has?
Man, I want to keep it. I want to keep it nice. You know what I mean? Just.
What
do you think
to
was
you,
your
Sully? What
biggest
happened to
character
you?
destruction? Was it Wally West or is it Diana Prince? Because I think you're doing a number on Diana
You're
right
doing
now.
a number on Diana, but I really like Danger Street Kid. I'm going to keep it positive. I'm going to say, hey, I liked that Helen of what was that? Helen of Everclear? What was it? With Bilkis that he did. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I remember reading Danger Street, and I'm not remembering what it was about though.
It was like those 70s characters, like Lady Cop, and
Like Caggy and Lacey.
You talking about the DC title, Lady Cop?
yeah. Like, Tom King did it was called Danger Street, and it was like all of like those early 70s characters. You know what I mean? And he's being mean to them because that's what all he does is be mean to characters.
I just love the idea that somebody went in and pitched. Like, it was just such a time that you would go in and you would go, okay, we're going to do a book. It's a cop, but it's a lady. Lady cop. And everybody goes, you're blowing my mind.
Sold.
So pop sequentialism says all the actors in Lord of the Rings got paid very little and no royalties to keep the budget low enough to greenlight. Then they had to agree to a flat rate. After the success of the films, the studio gave the main cast bonuses. Well, I'm certain that Sean Astin had to be main cast, right?
Yeah, he I went and looked it up. He said that during the filming he made like no money and had to sell his house, but he's all good now. He was just talking about during that, like when that was all going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did he
He had
have
to go
to sell
through
his
some
house?
little rough house.
He made $250,000 through like on the trilogy as a whole, and he just had like no money during that time. That's what he said.
Well, yeah, because it took him so long to film, he wouldn't have been able to do anything else. Like
Yeah.
they were in New Zealand. for
Yeah,
years,
they
right?
filmed them all at once. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. $250,000 for 3 movies. Oy.
A year's worth of work, yeah, too.
I mean, I don't know.
Three,
Like
like,
$250,000
movies.
a year sounds pretty good.
Well, it was longer than a year, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were on
Yeah.
location for like a calendar year, correct? Or more.
They were there longer than that. Yeah.
Well,
And I'm
you're
sure
looking
the
at-
rent in fucking LA is got to
I
be pretty
know.
expensive, right?
$250,000 won't get you-
Here's a bold idea. Don't live in LA.
He's a working actor.
Said
I don't
Aaron Sparrow.
imagine that.
And you know,
Oh.
there's this. I mean, I guess it was the year 2000. We didn't have the Zoom or the internet or any way to.
It was a different
communicate with
time
people.
then.
It's different.
Now they're desperately
Dil-
trying to keep the entertainment industry in LA.
Dylan, did you finally get to read that What If Spider-Man book?
I have not.
Oh, my goodness. I think I'm the only one that read it. You had to have read it, right, Sully? What if
No.
Spider-Man?
Oh,
What if Craven didn't
what if
die?
Craven? Yeah, Craven didn't die. He's come back from the dead like 3 times. You know,
It is so fucking good. I cannot
Really?
even explain to you how awesome of a job J.M. DeMatteis did.
Oh, okay.
And then the art looks like it's not Zek, but it looks a lot like it.
Okay, now you have my attention.
I couldn't believe how good it was. I expected nothing and got a really, really cool Spider-Man story. Like what if
Mhm.
alternate universe type thing, but it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. I mean, okay, because I saw it on the shelf, and when I picked up all whopping 2 issues on my pull list this week, and I was
Well,
looking
that's
for
a good
something
one
else to
this week.
buy, and I was like, oh, so I skipped over it because I was like, but I didn't read the credits, and they got me there because I would have snagged
Should've
that up.
gotten that. They
I
should have promoted more heavily, Dylan, that JM was DeMatteis was a part of it.
Yeah, because that's why I skipped reading it, because I thought, oh, they're just gonna get some like Marvel hack writer to do it. I didn't realize DeMatteis was actually coming back for it.
Steve Orlando's alternate.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was gonna be
Craven.
something like that.
But it was shockingly good. I was very impressed by how good that one
Nice.
was. And then actually this week, Sully, if you get a chance, read Doom Quest.
Ooh, okay.
You can see Doom as George Washington make a War Machine armor and go after the British.
Ooh, that sounds
Pretty
cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty darn good.
Sully, did you
So-
get your copy of Doomface yet?
I just got my copy of Doomface yesterday.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. Go ahead and taunt Kaiser because he hasn't gotten his yet. He's not in one of the batches I fulfilled yet.
Kaiser, I want you to feel jealous, Kaiser, Jose. This is like which cover is this? This is the E cover.
Yeah,
This
that's the one that we did to make it look like an old creepy magazine.
Yeah, I love this. This is a real and check it out. It came with stickers. We got a Doomface sticker. He's saying Neil. You know what I mean? We got Captain Silverback.
Or,
Silverstreak.
Captain Silverback. Yeah, no, Colonel Silverstreak.
Silverstreak.
Hey, right
Thank
now,
you.
silver that.
Bag.
We got
Now I need to make a military gorilla named Captain Silverback.
Loving it though. It never hurts to be helpful. See, I'm bringing this one to work. I'm putting that in my locker. How's that?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are you
Yeah, that
reading it
covers
today?
That covers by Lionel Castellani, who did just
And-
an amazing job.
And anyone out there in TV land, this is a key issue, a bona fide key issue. This is the first appearance of Reverend Sully in any comic book. So go out and get yours today.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
The Thinking Critical Crew is in
Get it slabbed.
The city
Never
scene.
read it. Don't touch it. Don't open it. Don't even breathe on it. Don't look at it.
Please read it.
Please read it.
Let's
It's
hear
funny.
for the
Please.
Let's hear for the people's. Caleb says, I hope the leaks for Doomsday are true. But also, is a character like Doom difficult to adapt because he's a leader with diplomatic relations?
It's not difficult to adapt. You just have to have the will to do it right, and you actually have to build to him.
The way that they screwed it up in the past is they've always tied Doom's origin directly to the origin of the Fantastic Four. That's where they screwed it up in the movies.
You can do that, but like in that first movie, if you want to put him on the mission because you're like, we got to establish things right away, he should not get powers. He should be the one that doesn't, and that he feeds even more into his jealousy. And then that, you get to do Doom right, because as we all know, Doom's greatest power is his matchless mind, which makes his might whatever he chooses it to be.
Yeah. But I don't think Doom should be all that difficult to adapt to the big screen. He's such a cool character. It should be, you just got to get somebody with charisma and that screen presence, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that first actor, Julian McMahon, I think he was a good choice for Victor Von Doom. I just don't think they ever let him play Dr. Doom. They gave him lines that Doom would never say. They made him act in a way that Doom would never say, or would never do. It was just, they've never done a good job adapting the Fantastic Four to the big screen.
What are the leaks from Doomsday, Dylan? Are they big?
Yeah, there's a lot of leaks. I'm not going to say anything because it's probably real, but yeah, there's a lot of leaks.
Do you hope they're true?
Not really. But I've only read a little bit because I didn't want to get the entire thing spoiled for me, because generally now when this stuff happens, it's real.
Yeah. There we go. And then he says, Kevin Feige's a loser for being unable to adapt Blade. I mean, he is a white guilt liberal.
Mm.
Wow. Just imagine Bloodline didn't test well with the test audiences or something. An unlikable daughter.
A character nobody ever cared about, created by creators that nobody ever cared about, who never wrote anything anybody cared about. What a surprise.
Eric's going to have a lot of learning lessons from his daughter he never knew. Dun, 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 dun.
That's right. It's going to be in the 1930s, and it's going to have a Blade movie in the 19th. Like, if I just said to you, hey, the first Blade movie is going to be in 1930s Harlem, you'd probably be like, oh, that's kind of badass. I'm kind of interested in seeing that concept. And then it's like, but it's going to have 4 female leads, and his daughter's going to be giving him life lessons. And you're going to be like, what? And it's like, and a lot of lighthearted Marvel humor. And you're like, in a Blade movie? And then, like, no wonder this thing didn't happen. And you know what? Kind of, thank God it didn't.
Live, laugh, love vampires.
I don't think he was unable to adapt Blade, because obviously Blade is adaptable. They made a perfect adaptation, with 2 films already. I think he just it feels more like he refused to do it.
Yeah.
Well, when you start removing the testosterone from superhero movies, it kind of negatively affects them, I think.
Well, it sounds like the actor is, pretty pissed off at it. He talked a lot of shit about Marvel Studios this week. And I think they probably deserved it.
Also, his last experience with the MCU was he was the best part of that Luke Cage show, and they kill him off after like 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. And they bring in like a guy who's just wildly overacting.
Well, no, not even that. They made it like that. His cousin, his lady cousin, that was the villain.
Mm-hmm.
She became the villain. She was so much worse.
Well, because they had Alfre Woodard, and up until Viola Davis, she was the the one black go-to actress in Hollywood. So you got to use her, and then they used her again because she had to come up and guilt Tony Stark in Civil War.
Yeah.
What was that really terrible Jada Pinkett villain in that Penguin TV show?
Fish Mooney.
Fish Mooney. Oh, that was the worst.
Well, I
think it was actually a Jim Gordon show. It wasn't Penguin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was,
Fish
it
Mooney.
was Gotham. It was just Gotham. Yeah, it was like a lot of things.
Worst villain ever.
I liked later when they wrapped Michael Chiklis in vinyl and called him KG Beast. It was just like, this show is off the rails and it's hilarious. It's like a Madam Web level catastrophe.
Image Comics Invictus. No spoilers, but Zendaya becoming Venom was perfect synergy with comic books. What?
I loved when Morbius showed up and yelled, "It's Morbin time." Probably not a good time to have a Jared Leto cameo, though.
Howard showed up and laid an egg.
There is a piece of Venom symbiote stuck in the MCU from the end of
No Way Home.
No Way Home, right?
Yeah, they should be. Yeah.
There's
Maybe
also Hercules, the Black Knight, Pip the Troll, and Star Fox, a bunch of other things that we'll never see go anywhere.
Black Bolt.
The Calb says, this is a slight spoiler. Oh, no. Let's not spoil too much. Has Feige got it in his head that only women are free of consequences when they kill and murder people because the character was just Wanda 2.0? I mean, come on.
They'll
Well,
never
there's
know.
a few female characters in the Spider-Man movie, so I guess it could be a few different ones.
Is he talking about the race swap Jean DeWolf? I'm so mad about that.
Dude, Jean DeWolf in this movie also is like 3 feet tall. Because she stands next to Tom Holland. Tom Holland's very short. He's like 5'7", 5'8", and she's like half his height. It's crazy. Seeing her on screen is not. It's like the little chick in The Last Captain America. That was very tiny.
Oh yes,
like
the tiny Israeli lady.
yes, rivals her in terms of how tiny. At least in this one, she's not like throwing grown men around. The tiny lady in this, it's just like it's jarring how small this lady is.
So they race swapped Jean DeWolf. Let me guess. Black woman?
Latina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Latina.
wow, that's surprising to me. Because usually black woman is the go-to. Actually, I have a friend that I play a game with now with any piece of entertainment. It's called TTBW, Time to Black Woman. So the movie starts or the game starts, or and you set your timer and you say how long till we introduce the black woman character. And invariably she will be hyper competent, a scientist, a chess master, an inventor, a high powered lawyer, something. Yes. Yes, that's a given because it's gotta be rough for black women out there.
They say the actress is 5 foot tall.
Can we get one straight roll? I told you. Can we just get one straight roll?
If you're short, if you're 4'8" or shorter, apparently that is a legal definition of a midget. So she's like pushing the midget line.
Oh yeah, Anna was telling us that.
So Peter Dinklage isn't going to threaten her job.
They call them little. I don't know what the proper. Did I just offend people in the audience?
Maybe. No, and so anyone's going to be offended anyway.
You just offended our midget audience. I'm really upset about this.
The midget wrestlers coming in.
Aaron, in the words of Norm Macdonald, he doesn't think of like they don't like because Conan corrected him and said they're called little people, and he goes, I don't like that, Conan. I don't like to think of people as being little or big. People are just people. But some of them are
the average
really short
height
and have weird big heads.
For females in the Philippines is 4'10". So.
Wes is desperately trying to keep me from getting to that punchline.
So I think probably half the females here are technically dwarfs, I guess. Weird.
In the Philippines?
Uh-huh. This is the second shortest country in the world.
Damn.
Ahead of only Thailand. Although North Korea is not included, and they are likely the shortest because of all the malnutrition.
Mm-hmm.
No. Kim Jong-un says that they're the tallest and they all ride unicorns and they have dragons there.
Oh, I thought it was because the gravity was stronger and under your country, and therefore the people were shorter.
I think it's
trust the science. Come on,
genetics. Jack Hanna, I heard that Nolan's next masterpiece will be his own colonoscopy. It's where he shows the audience how far up his own backside he can reach.
Oh.
Have you guys seen that? The Odyssey?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet. Dylan has. Have you?
No, I'm sort of boycotting it out of
I'm waiting until it comes out in home video. I'm in no rush. I'm actually rereading it.
Reading the feminist adaptation that the movie was based off of.
Exactly. I'm reading the Fitzgerald translation compared to this Emily Watson translation, 2 chapters at a time. So I'm reading them, parallel. And I'm halfway through the Iliad and I'm doing the Odyssey after this. So it's been an interesting, experience because it's not bad. It's just at the end of the day, it's literally just another translation of the Iliad, and just like, okay, it's fine. I mean, the introduction was kind of long and a little feminista, but that's to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandals, saw that you sent a bunch of super stickers, but you weren't able to get a super chat or something. It says, I'm giving up on trying super chats this AM. The filter has defeated me. I've run out of ways to ask about Spider-Man chalice in my web shooter. I give up. It sounds like there might have been some.
I see the super chats. Yeah, I see the super chats. The super chats are up on the. I can see 99, 99, 99.
Well, there's no information. So what he was trying to super chat was something about a Superman chalice in his own web shooter. So it sounded like he was doing a little sexual innuendo. Apparently, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get through the filters, Dylan, that you approve while we're doing the show.
Yeah. Someone was quoting Planet of the Apes earlier and goes like, "You damn dirty ape," and I had to approve that because I guess YouTube thought they were being racist or something.
Man, it's so weird.
I caught a ban over Comic-Con on Instagram and couldn't respond to any messages because I made a Hunter Biden joke about cocaine, and Instagram's algorithm flagged it and said I was trying to sell cocaine.
That's why we had those people show up at the booth that were like a little sketchy.
Yeah, they're like, "What's up, man? Follow you on Instagram."
No Sparrow, you holding? How much?
And then he says, Callum says, I saw footage of a fight at San Diego Comic-Con and a Blade Runner is now a trans allegory. Oh, because the Hunter, like Schaefer Blade Runner 2099 straight to streaming movie.
That no one's gonna watch. There was a fight at San Diego, and it was actually directly in front
it Mark
of
Wade?
No, it was directly in front of Aaron's booth. It was for the Nick Dragotta line, which was insane every day.
Did you jump in there?
No, I don't care.
Throw some elbows and haymakers?
Nick Dragotta can fight his own battles.
No, I always you go in there and you make sure nobody stops it, right?
Let them fight.
Let them.
Yeah, just like out of Boondock Saints.
Aaron doing the Japanese accent, being let them fight.
Exactly.
At least they
Everybody get body slammed.
Can we do the slow-mo, like two nerds tussling and like crashing into the tables and do it like they're smashing through a Tokyo City? Like
At least they kept it in the middle of the aisle, they kept that line so people could get by. But
the one year in New York or maybe it was Florida, I can't remember which one, but where the fight started over the Peach Momoko stuff, that was also like right in front of our table, and it was right next to like Heritage Auctions with their cases of like extremely valuable comic books, and we were just like, oh no, this can't happen.
Break right.
That's good entertainment. You can't pay for something that quality.
I know.
It just has to happen.
Well, they could have fallen on a mint copy of Lady Cop #1.
Lady Cop #1.
There was a brawl
guys,
out.
You're not catching the genius of my pitch here. She's a cop, but she's a lady. With all the complications that being a lady would bring you.
Just ripping off to a policewoman, but with Andy Dickinson, shut up.
Daniel says, testing 1, 2, 3, super filter is torturing my web shooter.
Hey-o.
I have no idea why that's happening.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the stuff Callum has said over the years. They normally let anything go through.
Is Callum grandfathered in, like with offensive content?
Maybe. They're just like, fuck it. You can do that. I'm sorry that you're having troubles with it, dude. That really sucks. But I do appreciate the support. And it sucks that's happening. Galb says, ask Tom King about his wife and how much he hates living.
Oh, I'm going to leave him alone.
You've got to do it, Sully. Be like, I heard you hate life. You don't like being married. Is that true?
Oh,
You're like, are you from Thinking Critical?
I get a feeling from reading the body of your work that you might have a thing or two to say about. No thanks.
He did a panel at San Diego Comic-Con where he said the current arc with Diana, Wonder Woman, is based off of like his love and appreciation for his wife and daughter. I was like, that's weird.
So he makes his wife and daughter eat rats?
Yeah, there's a rat eating. Diana just killed herself. There's a bunch of weird stuff that happens in that book.
Oh, he's so fixated on suicide too. Like, just
yes,
what a
absolutely. Weirdo. And then Jag Live wants to know what's Tom King's best project, best DC project.
My vote's for Danger Street.
Superman Up in the Sky.
That Elmer Fudd special.
Ooh, good one.
Probably the Elmer Fudd special, but there was like that Batman story with The Help, Dylan. Remember that one?
The Help. Which one are we talking?
There was a character called The Help that was introduced. What was that in? DC Comics, The Help. Yeah, he was Batman Killing Time. Wasn't bad until the end.
That's kind of an important piece of the book.
that Penguin, he did a 12-issue Penguin book that wasn't that bad at all because he could finally be cruel to minor characters like the Force of July. He just like wipes them all out.
There was a decent Swamp Thing special that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp Thing Winter special, I think it was, that I liked.
Did that make any sense? Because I asked the editor, I go, well, what's this? I didn't really catch the meaning here. And he goes, well, there really isn't one. So I don't know if I remember I read that, but it had really nice artwork. Who did the artwork? Was that Jason Fabok did that artwork on that?
I think you are correct, but it's
that
been
probably,
like 8
that
years.
probably carried it because I remember reading that going, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take from this. I didn't
You're
really
supposed to be sad and
understand the moral of
depressed.
the story.
That's what you're supposed to take from it, is that you should be depressed and sad.
I am.
Yes, Bebop.
Yeah. So I think the art carried that more than the story. I agree with Sparrow. I think the Elmer Fudd special was actually pretty good. But then again, you had Lee Weeks drawing it, which made it seem maybe better than it was too. So
That's
that's
every
kind of-
Tom King book ever made at DC Comics. But yet again, he's got the most amazing artists you could possibly put on the book.
Yep.
That helps. Whether it be Clay Van, Jason Fabok, Lee Weeks.
mhm.
Man, always
So,
gets the best artists.
Yeah, Bilquis Elverly, she's great.
I'd like to pair him with Rob Liefeld and see what happens. Because Rob would be like, I ain't drawn that. I ain't drawn that. I ain't drawn that.
yeah.
Apex Comics says DC's first issue special number 4 Lady Cop. I have it.
Yep.
That's real?
It is real. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like deep DC lore. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the 70s, man. Back when they were doing stuff like Night Nurse, because that was Marvel, but they had these sort of like they tried a few different books that had like sort of a romance comic angle to them,
Mhm.
but tried to make them a little bit more interesting than that, but they all failed miserably.
Right.
Sounds amazing.
I had a pitch for Night Nurse that I never got off the ground at Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
where she becomes a nurse to the superheroes. It was really pretty funny, I thought. I thought it was funny, but
And then they did that in Daredevil. They took your idea and they put it in the show.
people are always stealing from me. I came up with Planet Hulk like in the early 90s. And but I was just breaking in at the time, so I had no one cared about what I thought. But
Well, they
I'm not
apparently
saying
they
they
wrote it down in their little notebook. So
yeah, I
we'll take
guess
that
so.
later.
No, that was like DeFalco and those guys. So he was gone by the time they did it. So I'm just chalking it up to great minds think alike kind of thing. But because the Hulk as a gladiator on an alien planet is a pretty good concept.
Well, had
Yeah.
you ever mentioned it to Panizia? Because that was his idea, and then he ended up hiring you to work on it.
Yeah, it's very. Was it Mark's idea that whole?
Yeah.
Mark.
So maybe like
Oh.
at one point you was like, it'd be cool, Hulk on a gladiator planet, and that's just churning in the back of Mark's mind for a long time.
Well, I don't think he was there either when I proposed it, but no, I really do. I think it's just one of those weird things because I drew this cover for Hulk Destruction for Mark, and it was this downward angle of the Hulk fighting with the Abomination. There's all this debris falling with him, but it's going down at an angle like this. Like a year later, I saw that Mike Zeck had done a Hulk annual years before, like in the late 80s, I think it was. It was almost, the covers were almost identical. And I completely had never seen it before. Because someone came up to me and goes, "This reminds me of that Zeck Hulk annual cover." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I looked it up and went, oh my gosh, I just swiped from him and I didn't even know it.
I bought Steve Purcell lunch at Pixar because I realized in rereading the Sam and Max book that I had stolen a Sam and Max joke, or that I had stolen a Sam and Max joke for Darkwing and put it in almost verbatim, like very, very close. And so I bought him lunch and he was like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "No, I owe you a royalty." I told him
Exactly.
I said, that was just in my head, and it just like became one of those things where it's like you think that it's something you came up with after a while.
Yeah.
Jag Live says, "Congrats on Unholy Nightmare 3 funding."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, the whole team is very, very happy with it. Very, very happy with it being the most successful campaign that we've had so far, and onwards and upwards.
And then he says, "Man, what Cape Crusader did to Roxy Rocket." Yeah.
What Cape Crusader does to every character is just, remember we got Lady Penguin out of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that show.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted,
Yeah.
it gave. I think they hired Minnie Driver to be Lady Penguin, so Minnie Driver got a check, so good for her. But yeah,
Well,
like,
what
not a
happened
good
to her?
show. Not a good take on Batman.
She did the voice in Tarzan and then disappeared.
Well, she's an actress and she turned 40, so Hollywood,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
progressive as they are, they don't have any use for her anymore.
That's true.
Callum says, "Dylan, you know what character I'm talking about, right? Because she's just Wanda 2.0, freely murdering people." I'm pretty sure I know what character he's talking about.
Yeah.
Why do they keep enforcing this spoiler on? I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want it. He says he doesn't want to, do any spoilers, and yet this is the second time he's brought this up, which is a spoiler.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Dylan knows exactly what you're talking about, but he doesn't want to spoil it.
I haven't seen the movie, and I know who he's talking about.
I don't. I'm blissfully unaware.
There you go. Me too. I'll walk into that movie completely ignorant.
MH Comics Invictus. I watched Supergirl. It's just as good as Superman, maybe better constructed. Definitely better than Fantastic Four.
I actually watched it last night too on Docbuster.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Do you believe that it's better than Superman? A highly flawed film, by the way.
It's more linear. Yeah, it probably is better constructed. It's not better written. There's like huge glaring plot holes and jumps in logic where you're like, well, why don't they just do this? Why didn't they just do this? And at one point, Normie Marie was like, why do they keep repeating the same story beats? Like, Supergirl has to lose her powers, and as they go to another place, and then Ruthie stows away. She's like, how many times is this chick going to stow away before somebody checks the cargo hold? Like, she was getting irritated with that. But overall, like, she was like, it was fine. It was entertaining. It was, it was whatever.
Man, sounds like it was better than Superman to me.
Definitely better than Fantastic Four. I mean, the villain was just as dumb.
Decent film with bad casting.
And a dumb Galactus. The dumbest Galactus you've ever seen. Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty thinking brain.
Exactly. He's not known for his smarts. He's known for his appetite.
I think Galactus is known for being pretty smart.
No.
Dylan, back me up here. Is Galactus a dumbass that's going to pinwheel back for 18 blocks and not know how to do anything?
Steps, maybe.
That was a lot longer than 2 steps.
Also, it never makes sense when the Silver Surfer is like, I'm going to use my power against you. Because, like, just in the comics, Galactus could just go, all right, you know what? You can't leave Earth. There's a barrier. Like, he can put limits on the Surfer. That power came from him. It's as dumb as the Nick Cage Ghost Rider, where he says to Mephisto, now I'm going to use these powers against you. Like, Mephisto couldn't just go, all right, I'm just going to take those back. There we go.
Yeah. Do not say anything about Nick Cage Ghost Rider, because that's one of Doc's favorite movies.
It's fine.
The second one I do like.
The second one was by the
pisses
Crank guys.
fire. Yes, it was so batshit insane. And Nick Cage like cranked up the crazy to like 45. Like it was absolutely batshit nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made it fun. I didn't say it was a well-constructed movie. I just said it was fun and I liked it.
Caleb says, before Eric changes subject again, do you think Feige thinks women are free of consequences? I don't think that's a Feige thing. I think that's a modern culture thing.
Yeah. I mean, this goes back to the whole thing where women are perfect and they don't have to go like not Ms. Marvel, but Captain Marvel movie, the huge flaw. Sparrow, didn't we go, weren't you with me when we went and saw that?
Yeah, we went and saw that after con.
Like big reclining chairs or something, and you fell asleep. But
yeah, it did happen.
It's like, they don't ever have to overcome anything because they're already perfect. So then they don't have to pay consequences for anything because they're perfect and they never do anything wrong. It's absurd. And I heard that was the same thing with Supergirl. She didn't really have a arc where she became a better, like Tony
the world
Stark
becomes better by realizing how great she is.
Right, exactly. Yes. And it's like, like you take Iron Man, where Tony Stark's really this kind of lousy human being and becomes a good human being, so we can root for him. And there's this character arc, and they take that out of these women in the leads because for some reason we can't see women as being flawed. It's just ridiculous.
The Supergirl movie was bad, but I will say they did try to give her an arc. They didn't just go, she's perfect as she is. This is how it is. They tried to give her a little bit of an arc. I will say that with Supergirl.
Yeah, she stops drinking, which, good on her.
Good for her.
If you go to Civil War II, Carol Danvers, versus Iron Man in that one, Carol Danvers is illegally having people put in prison for thought crime, like because of stuff like that. They literally have done nothing. She's never been held accountable or even had to admit she was wrong. Mm-hmm. Iron Man is still being fleeced for getting too drunk in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Hank
saying?
Pym will never live down an artist drawing him too aggressively striking Janet. Like he has to live with that forever. But you know, she basically she had an army of brown shirts as well, and we don't address that at all. We don't talk about any of that. It just
So
really
it's not a Feige thing. I don't know
Yeah.
that it's even a Disney thing. I think it's just like a culture thing right now.
Yeah.
it's like everybody's rushing to bring true that, or to make true that Jack Nicholson line. Like, how do you write women so well? I think of a man, and then I take away reason and accountability. And that's how all of this is written.
Yep.
Oh, as good as it gets. That's a great film. Man, so many good moments in that one. Sigma Comics, HH to the fam, greetings from New York City. I had the pleasure of spending time with both Aarons in San Diego. Good men that are good for comics. Support the channel and the creators. That's
I
awesome.
remember his T-shirt. He had that on his T-shirt. That Sigma thing.
Yeah, it's no, HH is great. I got a chance to hang out with him, got to say hi to Casey, you know, you never get as much time to spend with people at these shows as you'd like, but you know, you try to like run around and see as many people as you can.
And then you end up spending too much time with people you don't want to spend time with. So it's just
That's right.
Time.
Sometimes they're helping in your booth, right, Aaron?
Yeah. They won't leave.
And every time he comes back, he's got a bag full of toys.
That's
No
right.
room.
More stuff for me to trip over when I'm trying to sell a book. I'm kidding.
Koichi Oki, what's up with this character's popularity? He doesn't sell comics. His last game was poorly received, but this is opening likely to surpass Endgame. He does sell comic books. Amazing Spider-Man,
Yeah.
despite being dog shit for, you know, most of the past 10 years, is still their best-selling solo title.
Yeah, and
Like,
when
it
they
doesn't
gave
even have to be good.
people what they wanted with Ultimate Spider-Man, that thing was selling crazy. Like I was
There's
like,
definitely- there's
here's
best
Peter and
selling book.
MJ together, and they got their kids, and it was like selling crazy. It's like if Marvel actually woke up and gave people what they wanted, Spider-Man would sell even crazier than it is right now.
At
I'm
the end of the
surprised it's doing this well, especially without IMAX, Dylan. Because normally IMAX brings in a big chunk of extra money. They've got none of that. It's still going to be Endgame. That's insane.
Yeah. The Odyssey has exclusivity to IMAX in the U.S., so there's no IMAX showings in the U.S. for Spider-Man, and it's still going nuts.
Yeah, all the premium formats were sold out. You know, near me, which is a big like movie area. It's weird how, you know, when you make an action-packed, non-woke movie starring a white guy as a popular and beloved character, it's weird that the superhero fatigue just mysteriously disappears. All that superhero fatigue we hear about is just gone, and then it comes roaring back every time we get a movie that's a Mary Sue lecture fest starring some girl boss character. You know, then all of a sudden, superhero is it superhero fatigue? No, it's that we don't want this shit that you're giving us.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
instead of doing 6 movies over 3 years, you should probably just do 2 or 3 with the characters that people actually care about.
Well, that's the thing. It's the characters, but then also it's just, you know, apparently the reviews on this are fantastic. Spider-Man. So you got a well-written, well-produced, put together film. It will shock people, go see it, you know? And I mean, Spider-Man, for whatever reason, has always been popular since his inception. And there's been ups and downs in the comics, depending on what they're doing with them. But people are always ready to go back to Spider-Man, I think. Just waiting for it to be good.
He's got the best suit, and he's got a really cool power. He gets to swing around places and stuff. It just looks good.
Spider-Man is still, to this day, the #1 merchandise
Yep.
superhero character. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that he was doing more merch sales than Superman and Batman combined.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there may be a kind of a people are more happy to go see a Spider-Man film because it doesn't feel his independent or his solo films. They're detached from all this MCU stuff that's going on. So it's like an independent experience, even though he's connected. It's not like his stories aren't necessarily driven by what's going on in, you know, Doomsday or whatever else. So you don't feel like, oh, I got to watch 15 movies to stay caught up. They can just go watch Spider-Man, enjoy it, and go home. So I think that probably has something to do with it too.
Yeah, the MCU stuff in the Spider-Man movies are used to prop up Spider-Man, not to set up future MCU properties.
Right, right.
Yeah. But no, he's massively popular. He's definitely the most popular American superhero there is.
Kids see him and they're just interested in him, whether they know who he is or not. You show a kid who's never seen Spider-Man a picture of Spider-Man, he wants to know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's very
costume's
true.
amazing. And the movies have been good. You know, I didn't like Far From Home, but I like the other two a lot.
Yeah.
I get confused. All the titles are so similar. Which one was Far From Home? Is that
That's the
one?
second one. That's
Second
the
one,
second one. Yeah.
Mysterio. Yeah.
Mysterio.
I
Ever
love
seen
that one.
The Ryan George where he's like, you know, we're gonna call this one No Way Home, and he's like, yeah, we certainly decided that was a thing at some point.
Oh man, I love Mysterio. I loved the usage of his power set and the way they
I
visualized
like it when he's using his powers, but everything
Yeah.
else about it I think is not very good.
Yeah, that one sequence is awesome. I can do without the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I could do without the trip. I could do without the drama with the other kids. You know, I could do without the jokes. Yeah, I did not like that.
I always wondered how Nick Fury was so stupid that a stuntman or whatever could make him think he was an interdimensional being. I was like, didn't you check on this dude at all? Or
But then it was like,
on man.
and
it's a
that
scroll.
yeah,
It's Ben Mendo Mendelsohn, you know, the scroll for Talos from Captain Marvel. He's posing as Nick Fury in that movie. But then you go to Secret Invasion, which I don't recommend anybody do. And Talos is actually the guy that's been Nick Fury all these years, been doing all the work. And Nick Fury's just been taking the credit. He's just a sad, dumb old man. They completely destroy Sam Jackson's Nick Fury.
I lost respect for Nick Fury when he lost his eye to a cat. In
Oh,
New
God.
that
yeah.
was oh geez.
Wouldn't it be funny if was said in the writer's room, and that's
Yeah.
never something that you should put your script.
Yeah, exactly. God, that was
Oh,
bad.
man.
James Hannafin says, I discovered Aaron the Presti's art on the short DC Comics run Taikian. Chef's Kiss, definitely worth checking out.
Thank you. I get so much crap for Tachyon because it was so horrible. And I go, it's not my work. I actually did a pretty good job on Tachyon. The stories were just, but anyway, what can you do?
I'm trying to remember what Tachyon looked like.
Sounds like some type of sci-fi book.
Yeah, well, Byrne put him in the New Gods, so he got some mileage after that. They made a HeroClix figure out of him. I got him around here someplace.
I just keep I'm trying to picture him, and I just keep picturing Aztec instead.
Speaking of John Byrne, he got a thanks in the credits for Spider-Man. Also, Philip Kennedy Johnson got a thanks, which I was surprised by because I know he's writing the upcoming Spider-Man Midnight, but I was like, I'm surprised to see him getting a thanks in the credits for this Spider-Man movie.
It's my understanding that Tom Brevoort figures out who gets thanked. So if you're buddies with Tom, you're in. If you're not necessarily in. So that's my understanding anyway, because when Thor Ragnarok came out, and of course I drew half of Planet Hulk, I didn't get it thanks at the end of the movie. But guys that, just rando guys from Marvel artists were thanked in there. And I'm like, well, what the heck did he ever do that he gets thanked for this movie, So just saying.
Well, congratulations on Tachyon. You made a fan for life on that.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
today's
you
years old looking at this, and I love the design of this character, Aaron. Just
thank you.
the black and white. That's really cool. Is that your design?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really nice.
I've designed a lot of characters. It's just none of them have ever been used in a movie or TV show. So I've gotten I'm just like when I worked on Excalibur with Chris Claremont, it was like practically all new X-Men characters that we created in that series, and not one of them has been used anywhere. I guess maybe that's an indictment on me as a designer, but I don't know. I was just hoping like one of them would end up, in a movie so I could get a little royalty check or something.
Oh no, it's Disney. You won't. You'll get maybe a thank you in the credits if Tom Brevoort remembers, and and you'll get a ticket to the premiere if you can get yourself there.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thanks that you get from Disney. It's not like DC where you get, we used Iron Heights. Let's send Ethan a big fat 6-figure check.
Yeah.
There's nothing from you in the Man Thing movie?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Dude, I have never worked on Man-Thing. I just love the character so much. I just draw him all the time. They offered me because everybody around there knew I was like a MODOK fan and a Man-Thing fan. And so they offered me, there was was it Marvel Comics Presents? Maybe, I can't remember, but this Man-Thing story, but it was these people, the story was so gross. I didn't want to draw it. It was these rich people were, they had one of those parties where they eat like exotic stuff and they pay $1 million or whatever to go and eat stuff they're not supposed to be eating. And for some reason that to get revenge or something, somebody put like Man-Thing in the food, and so and then when they found out, they were all afraid, so they all burned internally, and and Man-Thing was hardly in it. It was just really a gross story, and I'm like,
essence of Man-Thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to draw that, and so that was my one chance to draw Man-Thing, and I turned it down. So, but they also offered. Well, they also had a creative discussion. Mike Martz told me this. It was so funny because they did a MODOK miniseries that I think Eric Powell did the covers for, if you guys remember that. And they were trying to figure out to get someone to draw it. And Mike Martz said, "Oh, you should ask Aaron. He'll probably do it." And they were like, "Aaron's not going to draw MODOK." And he goes, "Just ask him. You might be surprised." And I was doing something else, or I would have said yes, even though it probably didn't sell worth a darn, but just to draw MODOK. But I got my writer to work him in as a major story component into my Ms. Marvel run, so I got to draw a ton of MODOK in that. So,
did you like MODOK in the Ant-Man movie?
No,
nobody did, unfortunately.
Why didn't they? That was so dumb to like superimpose a guy's head. It was just the worst. Why not do like just totally CGI him with like a weird gnarly face like in the comics or something? I don't know. It was so dumb. Looked like something like Sid and Marty Krofft would have produced.
It's very Spy Kids.
Logan Welch, do you guys think the result of this movie will change the way Marvel are making their Spider-Man comics, going back to a more 90s style?
No.
Well, now wait a minute. What did they say with this big takeover, or pardon me, the big change and move and all this stuff? They said they were going to align the comics with the movies, which I don't think is a good thing, but maybe they will with the Spider-Man stuff too. I don't know, but that's what they said one of their goals was.
Yeah, because Peter and MJ relationship is always a part of every single one of those movies, except for a couple, when it's Gwen Stacy or whatever.
That it'll be their way to replace Mary Jane with ethnically ambiguous MJ.
Wait a minute, MJ is already a black girl, so I mean she's black, right? Zendaya?
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Oh,
They'll
you mean in the comics?
book.
In the comics,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think that's what they want.
Will
But she's also
ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but Zendaya can do that ethnically ambiguous thing because they're like, yeah, she's in Dune, and she's kind of one of these desert people from Dune, and we'll put her in this, and we'll put her in that. It's she can kind of get away with it.
She's the female Anthony Quinn. That's right.
Yeah, or the female John Turturro.
Yeah, there you go. It could just be anything. Yeah.
Well, you never know. Sometimes they keep the comic version like a lot separate. I mean, they've had 15 years to race swap Iris West over at Flash, and they haven't picked up on that. And she's been race swapped twice in live action on the TV show and in that that Ezra Miller movie too. So it's like,
has Marvel switched Sergeant Nick Fury in the regular books? Is he still a white guy, or is it, they make him?
No.
Nick Fury is still white guy. Nick Fury Jr. is the Samuel L. Jackson character.
right. And Nick
But
Fury
Nick Fury
Sr.
Jr. is Nick Fury, basically.
Okay.
And Nick Fury Sr. is
Only
now
not
he's like the
interesting.
Watcher now, or did he come back from the cosmos?
Last time I saw him, he was on the moon, being the guy that guards the
Kind of like
Watcher.
Yeah. But he's not.
What I was
The
told behind
man
the
on the
scenes,
wall.
the people at Marvel Studio didn't like that Marvel Comics did that, but that was just something I heard from a couple people.
So Nick Fury got sent to the moon. Isn't that kind of like getting sent to like Antarctica when you get in trouble in the
Yes.
military?
Yeah.
Like Alaska. You're on like a listening post in Alaska.
Yeah, exactly.
Fans cheered. Says I haven't watched Spider-Man yet, but was on Podcast Bros live chat after they watched it yesterday. Both reviewed the film as great, and I'm Team Stave Stargate cameos, ladies. Very
Yeah,
I heard that it was good.
it's gotten
so-
great. It's gotten really good reviews from pretty much everybody. You know,
Yeah.
it's there's some reviews that are like with these small caveats, but overall it seems like everybody really likes it.
Yeah, I've had like a bunch of people reach out to me and were like, it was really good. Everybody seems to be enjoying it, even the most cynical, kind of critics these days.
I told you the trailer made Marie say, "Oh, that looks interesting," and she's never cared about a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's doing very, very well for a good reason. Callum says, I wanted to see Ciara. They got Korg and Meek, but
We're talking about Planet Hulk now.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to see Kiera. He's talking about the Thor Ragnarok movie.
Yeah, that he didn't get the characters that he wanted. I mean, they got Korg and Meek, but they were dumbed down.
Well, you can't bring in Hulk's love interest unless the whole movie is about Hulk. And it was a Thor movie with Hulk
Elements
thrown in, or a buddy movie, or whatever you would categorize that as.
they said that we were going to get to see Planet Hulk play out over several films, but really we only got it in Ragnarok.
Well, look, we got Scar on the She-Hulk show. What are you guys complaining about? That was great, right? That was as
Well-
good as their version of the Wrecking Crew.
I went out and bought the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew just in case, and they ruined that. But the comic version of the Wrecking Crew is awesome.
Yeah, I
Um,
love the Wrecking Crew.
But yeah, they can't do anything with the Hulk because of Universal. I don't understand why they have not been able to work a deal out with Universal on the Hulk like they did with Sony and Spider-Man. It would seem like that'd be in Universal's best interest to get, because they're not doing anything with it.
No, but I think it's already the deal that exists right now is already in Universal's best interest because they're already using him.
Well, yeah, but they
They're
can only
using
use
him
it in the Avengers though, because they have the
Yeah. So it's keeping the property alive in case Universal decides I'm making a movie.
But I believe if Marvel Studios made a Hulk movie, they would have to allow Universal to do the distribution, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what did they?
But
what did they do
Universal could say we want to, or no, they only own the distribution rights.
Yes. Whereas
Yeah, so
Sony
they-
owns the rights to the characters. So if you want to do anything with the characters, you had to deal directly with Sony. So I guess Sony had more leverage in the deal.
One of those great Avi Arad deals where he gives away the rights in perpetuity.
Yeah. Well, as
Well,
long as
wasn't that
they're like in development or something.
Wasn't that back in the 80s though, when they
The
Marvel?
bankruptcy.
I think Marvel was owned by Revlon or whatever, and they were selling just to get some money because they were on the verge of bankruptcy. So they were selling off rights to everybody just to get some cash in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because back in
Koichiro-
those days, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was going to say back in those days, Cameron was going to do a Spider-Man film with Charlie Sheen.
He wanted it to be R-rated.
Weird.
He could have that Spider-Man sex scene that everybody's always wanted.
Yeah,
With the-
Charlie
with the-
Sheen,
with the
Peter Parker.
saxophone,
He saves some hookers and then he takes them out.
Yeah.
Koichioki says, "I guess I'm the solo out. I always thought Batman and now recently Superman are far cooler. What makes Spider-Man so popular? Spare me the relatability reason.
I think it's design. I think
It's
he's got
the design. The
Yeah, I think
design's
it's
amazing.
the big eyes, the primary colors. He's interesting to look at. It's kids
Cool
have always
toys,
graduate.
Shirts are awesome.
Yeah,
He's, blasting out webs and stuff, like shooting through the shirt and everything.
One of the
I just
best
love
rogues
that.
galleries in comics. His powers
Yeah.
lend himself to a lot of visual dynamism. So
Yeah,
you
but
see an
you
image of him.
can't ignore that he says don't spare me the relatability, but you have to go back to the inception of the character, and that's why he became so popular, because he was relatable at that time with college kids on campuses and the younger readers could identify with him. That's where that started. I mean, that's not an issue now, but when it started to get popular, that's why he became popular. Along with the other reasons you guys just said, was that relatability made him popular, and now he's just still writing that way.
And he's literally everywhere. Like he's video games. There's animated cartoon shows designed for 5-year-olds and all that stuff. There's definitely a pipeline to get you to these movies all the way from when you're like a toddler, which is obviously very effective. But Spider-Man is just a cool character, and I love that he's not dark. Like everybody's so dark and haunted by this past. And he had his Uncle Ben thing, but overall, Peter's just an optimistic character. People like that.
Outside of like the little bit of like inner torment that he had when he felt like the Venom symbiote like pushing him, or when he's like randomly gotten turned into like Man Spider. He's never had like the dark era. He has maintained being a bright and hopeful character through basically everything.
Darkest story is probably Kraven's Last Hunt, which was 6 issues, and then I would say that the Clone Saga got fairly dark, but otherwise, I
Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy. That was pretty heavy. Before your guys' time, obviously, but.
Oh, but I found those books in near mint condition at a dollar yard sale. So I have.
There you go, buddy. No, that was the character that I gravitated to as a kid, and I didn't know anything about him. So the lot goes to the visual design and the look of that character. And he has, like Aaron said, he's got great rogues gallery. The Green Goblin and just Mysterio and all these really cool looking characters. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You're the only one that would say Sandman. He's the worst fucking villain.
I thought he was so cool to look at.
Hydro Man
is super cool. Every figure they make of Sandman is super cool.
Hydro Man is worse than Sandman. Come on.
And I love Hydro Man. So, what are you going to do?
I mean, on just a base level, you strip away all the bullshit over the past 60 years. Doc Ock is a really fabulous kind of supervillain. The mad scientist and then the robotic arms. It's so cool to look at.
Who's that big trucker? Razorback. Okay, maybe not one of their better efforts there.
I have a figure of Razorback.
He's from Australia, right?
Yeah.
The Gibbon. Remember the Gibbon?
Oh, I remember the Gibbon.
Man.
Yeah.
With the kangaroo.
Yeah, the kangaroo.
That's
a
lot of animal villains.
Yeah, remember when the kangaroo was just like a guy in like a jacket with long blonde hair?
A furry vest. He had a furry vest.
And then later they decided that no, he needs to be in like a mechanized kangaroo costume. It just got worse and worse.
But look at the other ones, like the Rhino and who I loved, and
Scorpion, Vulture,
Electro.
Mm-hmm.
They're a bear, and they.
I loved Electro. I like that the face, like the star thing that he had.
Star thing,
so impossible because it looks ridiculous in real life if you try to recreate that, but it's perfect on a page or a cartoon.
It was cool when they did it with the electricity over Jamie Foxx's face. That was cool.
Yeah.
Galb says, does anyone bring up the animated Planet of the Hulk movie?
Oh, where they replaced Silver Savage with Beta Ray Bill? That one?
Yeah,
it's fine.
See, all this stuff is just bitter for me because they interviewed me to be on the special DVD guy. They showed up here in this very studio, interviewed me for Planet Hulk. I'm on the special DVD. If you get the set that has the movie and then the extras, and I get zero credit in the film. They gave me no credit. They gave it to Greg Pak, of course, wrote it, and Carlos Paglione, who drew half of it, and I drew the other half. But they didn't say it's based on the comic by Greg Pak and Carlos Paglione. I'm like, and Aaron LaPresta? No. So every time they do Planet Hulk, they stiff me. So
screw that shit.
I know.
What you should do, Aaron, is you should say that hey, I co-created Planet Hulk and I co-created Wolverine. If we want to get right down to it, do the Roy Thomas.
Yep, I was right there with them. I was in the room.
Galici says, ask a normie. They say relatable. Ask them their favorite storyline of Spider-Man. They couldn't tell you, but when a film comes out, They got to see it.
Well, my daughter loves Tom Holland, so her friend just went and saw it, and she doesn't go see superhero movies. I took her to see Ant-Man because I thought they'd find it amusing, which they did. But she went out to see Spider-Man because of Tom Holland. So, and she loved it. So there you go.
The other thing is, ask the favorite storyline of Spider-Man. Spider-Man's biggest, longest, most successful period was when it was a soap opera and not a bunch of storylines.
Right.
It was because there wasn't a storyline. It was just the continuing adventures of Spider-Man.
No, but
It
Spider-Man's
wasn't a-
popularity transcends comic books in such a degree. You know, it's even bigger than that.
I know, and that's the point. Like, even whenever you ask people, what is your favorite Spider-Man storyline? I don't know.
Spider-Man
You
2.
name a range of they either say a movie,
Or
a
an era.
season of a television, on an era, like a range of issues, a creative, like a creative pairing, or like literally a title itself. Like, oh, Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, the first Ultimate Spider-Man.
You know, no
Well,
one
my
ever
I was
kid
always a
says,
big fan.
no
the
one ever
thing that-
says my favorite Spider-Man story is Sins Past.
No.
The
I've read Spider-Man comic books with all my children. So they've read Spider-Man stories and all that kind of stuff. They can't remember any of that stuff. They just know that they love Spider-Man.
well, the formula was like, you know, you bring in the supervillain to get people to pick up the book, but the soap opera keeps them coming back. And that was kind of the thing with, because he always had so much romantic problems, you know, between Gwen and MJ, and it not working out. It is working out before he got married. I mean, and that was kind of really, I mean, what you're saying is correct, that there are a couple memorable story arcs that I remember that I liked, but it was always that sort of his personal life that kept you coming back to kind. Even as a guy, you don't want to admit it was the soap opera aspects, but it is, because you're like, okay, what, you know, is he going to get out of this thing with Mary Jane, or what's going to happen, you know? And oh yeah, they're fighting Green Goblin, that's great, but what happened with Gwen, you know? So I think
that was the thing that was the draw.
Yeah, he's
His-
got to
his
get through the
own little-
villain so he can get to date night, or he's got to get
Yeah.
through the villain so he can get Aunt May her medicine.
It was genius because it's like a lot of introductory, you know, a lot of people's introduction to comics is, you know, like the Archie digests. They would grab those as a, you know, your mom wants to shut you up, she'd grab you an Archie digest off the thing at the supermarket, and you'd go read about the soap opera adventures of, you know, in the Will They Won't They of Betty and Veronica with Archie. And that's in Spider-Man, but with Gwen and Mary Jane, and you get superhero action.
Yep.
It's like the perfect graduation.
Well, he was always like, had to like take it. He was always late for something, and he would like have his clothes bundled up in a web on the rooftop someplace where he'd go in and change to Peter Parker and run down in there, you know.
Can you imagine being a city worker in New York and you're like, hey, I don't know, like a couple times a week, we're doing maintenance on a building. We find a web sack that's just full of some guy's clothes.
Exactly.
We're like, oh, there's a big bag of spiders here. What? Oh, no, this is like jeans and a t-shirt.
What's going on?
Wraithx7 says, why didn't Marvel ever do a tribute to the late MD Bright after he passed? He drew the best-selling Spider-Man versus Wolverine one-shot from the 80s. I thought they did.
I thought that they did something for Mark
I
Bright.
thought I saw a little insert.
I don't recall though. Like they've, and in fairness, almost every issue these days, sadly, is having another like long time comic great that we've been reading for, and that oftentimes were lost far too young. Almost every Marvel comic has one of those these days. And that's a sad. So there's been so many of them, I might have forgotten.
Apparently, DC
I know
Comics
DC
did
did.
one. Yeah,
Yes, for Green Lantern.
correct.
Maybe that's the one I saw.
Yeah, I thought I saw one. I looked it up too. I was like, oh, okay.
I assume that's a senior editorial decision on who gets the legacy, you know, shout out type of thing, remembrance.
Should have been one for him with G.I. Joe, too. He worked on G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Transformers 5 cover, and that's
it's one of the most iconic images of all time.
Exactly.
Man, so the main topic was supposed to be Spider-Man Brand New Day, but have we talked about that enough?
We talk about the box office, its first day. I mean, darn, huh?
$167 million. It's already passed in like Supergirl's entire worldwide run.
That's great. That
Wait a
means
minute, did how much? 167 million?
In previews, preview night.
167 to 173 million on opening day, including previews.
Wow.
So that would easily kick the first day opening record of Avengers Endgame, which was 157.4 million.
Dylan, we keep hearing these rumors that Sony's looking to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. Do you think that's true? Do you think right now they're going like, hey, we might want to pump the brakes on that one?
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Or they
at
can up
all.
the price. Jeez. Wow. That's amazing.
I mean, they may be just like, well, yeah, I would consider selling. What do you say to, I don't know, $5-6 billion?
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing the thing from Vacation. How much you got? No, I'm asking you how much is it? And I'm asking you how much you got.
Exactly. Like, I mean, they could just throw look. At the end of the day, everything is for sale. You just sometimes have to throw stupid money at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's
I mean,
how my uncle sold his house. He was like, yeah, the house isn't for sale. And the real estate agent said, well, surely there's a number. And he was like, well, there's always a number, but I don't think that you want to pay it. And he goes, so he just quoted her 3 times above market, wanting her to go away. And she said, okay, thank you. And she walked out. And he goes, 10 minutes later, I saw her like on her phone standing out in front on the lawn, like nodding. And then she came back up, knocked on the door and said, my client will pay it. He goes, so I called my wife and I told her, I guess we're moving.
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
like if somebody's got more money than brains, yeah, everything is for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah. Look, Doc and I are not saying that we're willing to trade our passion for glory, but we are entertaining offers.
Yes.
Please get those in.
Like, so at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, is any rumor about Sony wanting to sell? No. I mean, they want to sell at 10-15 billion dollars. Sure, they want to sell at that.
Well,
They'll sell.
okay. Sony released this, right? So the only thing that Disney gets is when Spider-Man crosses over in like their Avengers movies. But the solo movies,
they get some of the box office, but it's a small percentage in comparison to what Sony gets.
Yeah, and Sony funded it. So basically, Sony funds it. Sony gets the distribution. Disney gets a small portion. Disney gets to use Spider-Man in there. Disney gets to make the merch, and they also kind of do the work for Sony. Like they get paid to make the movie. Like all the money that
are you talking about the Spider-Man solo movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Disney is making these under the
they're making
MCU banner, and Sony's just distributing them.
No. Sony pays to get them made. They pay Disney. It's almost like Sony outsourced the production back to Disney. And so Disney's able to kind of control the direction of it. Now they have to get approved by Sony,
right?
Who has to get it approved by Disney? It's goofy, but but so everybody, that way, Sony still they foot the bill for it, but they also get all the money from it. They get all the box office out of it, the distribution out of it. They're not splitting with Disney. They pay Disney to make the movie for them. Disney gets paid to make it,
right?
And they get the merch from it, and they also get to use Spider-Man in their movies.
Well,
and they kind of, since they get to control the direction so that it makes sense with their movies.
The merchandise is more than the movie's going to make, so I'm sure they're happy with that deal.
I mean,
I don't know. Well, I don't know if like the Spider-Man Brand New Day merchandise is going to be. I'd say they get all the Spider-Man merchandise.
Yeah, it's a driver for regular Spider-Man merchandise as well as movie merchandise.
Right. I mean, and this is from lunchbox to T-shirts to action figures to games, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a pretty lucrative deal for Disney, regardless. But
Yeah, they basically get somebody else to pay them to use their own character, but they don't get any of the reward out of it really either.
You know, I had a conversation with some guys. I do dinner with my old Malibu editorial crew every Saturday at San Diego every year. And we were talking about what is exactly Marvel's plan
Like for your old Malibu stuff.
with the that's buried for some complicated reasons. But what Marvel's going to do now that they're moving to LA, and it's been this swirling around this rumor that they're going to outsource their product at some point. And I said, well, why would say someone like Kirkman, right, pay Marvel a licensing fee to publish these books when the publishing doesn't really make that much money and you don't get the rights to anything else? And somebody at the dinner was saying, no, it'll be like the 40s where, a comic company would pay Eisner Studios, for example, to create comics for them, and then they would release those comics. And that made much more sense to me. So in other words, Kirkman doesn't buy the rights to the Marvel comics and publish the line. Marvel pays him, much like they did Rob and Jim to do Captain America and Fantastic Four back in the day, to produce these books for them.
Yeah, that's the only model that actually works in comics. Because what it is, like the other model is you have to pay Disney, say it's $1 million a year, whatever the licensing fee is.
Right.
So you have to be able to sell your comics and make $1 million of profit.
Yep.
But then that's just to break even.
Right. No one would do it. It's not worth it.
There's the only thing you find is suckers doing it.
Right.
But if you do it the other way, where essentially it was the Heroes Reborn model,
right,
the Marvel Knights model, because that was the same thing. Disney gives a production house a budget, pays them. It's up to them how they do it. You just have to deliver 12 comics,
right,
or 14 comics or 20 comics over X period of time, and Disney gets all the revenue because they funded it.
Right.
But you are able to also fund your operation and determine how people get paid.
Right. Yep. And that's the only thing that makes sense.
That's the model that works.
Because then Disney doesn't have to assume all the responsibility of all these employees and healthcare and all this other stuff. They just pay a flat fee or whatever production fee to whoever's going to do the comics for them. And then they just sign off on them. And then they still maintain all the rights to everything else. So I think that's what we're going to see.
That's basically what I've been saying for a while. I don't think you'll get it's not going to be a Skybound Hasbro situation
or even like a Disney standard situation.
Yeah. Where some company is paying Hasbro for the right to make, Hasbro, G.I. Joe Energon-verse comics. That's not going to work for Marvel.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
Yeah, because they're going to say, okay, well, our licensing fee is what our profit would be. That's going to be to make the book. So now somebody has to outperform what Marvel could do by themselves.
Right.
Just
which is not going to happen.
Even. And well, not only that, but there's nobody in the comic sphere with the kind of money to do that. You'd need DC. DC would have to be the one doing it. Marvel would have to be licensing DC. It doesn't work that way.
And we all know how well DC's parent company is doing.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, I mean, because you would have to license the entire Marvel U, and it's like, so what am I doing with Iron Fist? You know what I mean? Or now I got to do, all these other stuff that doesn't sell, and you're going to produce. You have to buy the license, and that license includes all these characters. When only you've got maybe 5 or 6 books that you can possibly turn a profit on. Yeah, that wouldn't work. So,
well, that's what
no,
you
I
would
agree
see
with you.
happen is, because it would be like if it were done traditionally the way Disney does it. And I don't think that they can do it that way. I think that the industry has shrunk to the point that they would have to do the Heroes Reborn model like Doc is talking about.
Yep.
But if you did it
I
the
agree.
traditional Disney way, it would be like a company licenses the characters and then they decide what they're going to put out. Like Dynamite does not have to put out anything that they don't want to. So if Disney says, hey, we got this Little Mermaid coming out, this live action Little Mermaid, you got to do comics based on that. Dynamite does not have to do stuff that's not
Right,
possible.
but they still have to pay for the rights. Because when I was at DC, they Dan DiDio was trying to get the Hanna-Barbera characters like Space Ghost and all that kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
And Warner Brothers wouldn't. Warner Brothers had like this, and this is Warner Brothers owning DC, and they wouldn't cut them a deal. But that's business, I guess. But they would not allow them to just have the Hanna-Barbera characters. They had to take Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones and Looney Tunes and all that stuff. So for years, Dan wouldn't cut the deal because they didn't know what to do with these things. And they finally did cut the deal. And that's where you had the Batman Elmer Fudd thing and Lobo Roadrunner. And, I did the Marvin the Martian, Martian Manhunter, which was actually a great use of those characters. And then they did Scooby-Doo and Flintstones kind of like as adult comics as opposed to just kids comics. And what happened was
we
that
participated in a genocide, Barney.
Yeah. Well, that pissed off Warner Brothers, so they wouldn't let them renew the license on him.
You mean they weren't happy with what they did to Snagglepuss? Made him a gay art critic or something?
Now,
Yeah,
Wef, I've been told that this is the gayest Snagglepuss we've ever had. Care to confirm?
But it's the only way that they could have sold those books is the way they did it. So I give them a lot of credit for creativity. But Warner Brothers was like, no, they wanted kids Looney Tunes comics and kids, Flintstones, and of course there's no market for that. And Dan just wanted the Hanna-Barbera characters because they're superhero characters. That's something you can sell to the superhero market. But so anyway, that's how that went down. And yeah, so you don't have to necessarily use them, but you still have to pay for them in a licensing deal like that.
I know a group, or I know of a group that approached Warner Brothers about licensing out the DC characters. And it was only an informal meeting, like nothing, like no real negotiations ever started because the opening number that was given was so astronomically high that they're like, we could never get funding for this. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's Marvel, I assume, would be like twice as much.
Right. It'd just be impossible.
Yeah.
To do it. So
the number was insane.
That's why. Yeah, that's why that model can't function for.
Right.
I mean, it can if you end up with somebody that has a stupid amount of money and just is doing it because they want to be able to, make themselves the temporary EIC of fucking Marvel Comics by being the one that's publishing and doing everything. But now you're dealing with somebody that doesn't have a profit motive. That's vanity publishing.
Yeah,
but you have to have
Tony
Marvel
Khan.
and DC's parent companies evaluating them in a reasonable way and realizing that this is still comic books and there's a lot of risk being taken here. But that it was pretty clear from the number that I was told. It was like, yeah, they're not thinking about it that way.
No.
Like,
No.
you were going to have to pay. So definitely made it seem like they were not interested. At least when that was brought up. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, to be completely honest, when DC was doing really, really bad. So I imagine it'd be a lot more money now.
But it does make perfect sense for these like Marvel and DC because their profit margins are not great. So, Marvel doesn't care about, they made $40 million last year. It's nothing, right? So, but it does make perfect sense for them to pay somebody to do it for them, so they don't have to have this big staff. They can just have, Stephen Wacker and a couple other guys in LA, and they just approve everything, or, for whoever's, Marvel ends up hiring, whatever studio they hire to produce these books for them. But that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but who has the capacity to do Marvel's library right now?
You would need another situation you'd be doing with Top Cow and Aspen and Skybound, and they'd be going through, like, they'd be trying to hire up basically every indie studio.
Well, but not necessarily, right? Because you could have like, say, Skybound, Kirkman's, we'll use him because that's the one that keeps getting tossed around. So Kirkman then becomes publisher or whatever. He hires a editor-in-chief, and then you hire, some editors, and then you've got access to all the freelancers in the world you want to produce these books. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like it would be that complicated, because Marvel did it, for years with a very small staff. It can be done because the freelancers are there that are willing to do the work. So, that would be, producing those books would fall on each editor has 5 or 6 books, and they all, there's plenty of freelancers out there willing to do that stuff. So I think it could be done actually fairly easily. I don't think you'd need this gigantic machine to do it. You just have to have some competent people, which is a challenge in this day and age anyway, but to run the studio and get this stuff produced.
Just a question then about how much coordination you'd want between the different, you know what you might see, something similar to the 90s model, where there was like the 4 different EICs for the 4 different, there was the one for the Spider office, the X office,
instead of group editors, they had editors in chiefs for each line.
Yeah. That's what you might see.
All right, Dylan. So obviously the Spider-Man movie is blowing up, but also at the same time, the Doomsday trailer is also blown up. I think it's over 55 million views in less than 2 weeks. Do you think this momentum that's obviously in the MCU's court right now is going to extend over to Doomsday?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Regardless of even if Spider-Man wasn't coming out, I think Doomsday would do huge, because I think this is their last chance to really capitalize on the nostalgia for those phases for the early MCU that people have. I think this is their last chance to be like, hey, look, we're bringing this back and getting people real excited for it. So I think a lot of people are going to go see Doomsday, even without Spider-Man, because it has that going for it.
Because I didn't think that there was a chance they could ever do Endgame numbers again. Like it didn't feel like Marvel or the MCU had enough heat, but obviously they do, because Spider-Man's doing it.
Yeah, well, Spider-Man, I feel like, is kind of separate from all that. Like, Spider-Man, regardless of anything else, like, would do well, especially because people like this Spider-Man. People like this version of Spider-Man, and he's so huge, as we already talked about, how good his merch does and how much people love Spider-Man. But with the Avengers, with Doomsday, I think this is just doing huge because people want to like the MCU again. It's just they've done a terrible
been waiting
job
for the movie that they want to see.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think this one's good. Though. I think it'll open big, and then if it's good, then it'll carry on. If it isn't, it'll probably die on the vine. But
I don't think there's any chance of it being good.
Huh?
I don't think there's any chance of it being good, because it looks like all the leaks are true, and the leaks are terrible. Like I when the leaks first came out, a very accomplished writer friend of mine said, "There's no way that that's the movie. Like, this reads like just a bullshit fan Reddit post that just like looked at some scenes and then cobbled together what they think the movie is." And now the leaks are coming out, and it is exactly what the we're seeing the footage from it, and it looks like it's exactly what the leaks said, and it just feels like it's going to be a complete nightmare.
I think, they brought back all the old characters, as you were saying, and for that nostalgia reason, because the new characters haven't really stuck at all. So I think it's going to open pretty good, but Aaron, like you say, it'll depend. If it's good, it'll keep going. If it isn't, it won't, because the only way you make money big money is if people go back and see a movie more than once.
Mhm.
They go see it twice, 3 times. And if it sucks, no one's going to do that. But if it is, then, they will. And I think that's Spider-Man's just going to, I'm really amazed that it opened that big. I'll be curious to see and just, where that thing ends up with its total box office worldwide, because everybody loves it. So, people are going to go back to go see it again and again. And so it's going to blow up with huge numbers. It'll be interesting to see where it ends up.
Wow, I think it's almost guaranteed to do more than the $1.5 billion that No Way Home did, which it felt like that was propped up by the other 2 Spider-Men showing up. But clearly I undervalued the appeal of Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
and it looks like in the trailer, you're getting a lot of things that you would probably want. Like you're like, oh, like the hand is in the, if you're a comic fan, it's like the hand is in this, the scorpion's in this, boomerang, tarantula. Like, and I don't expect them to
homage
have-
to the very first Spider-Man cover.
Yeah, they've homaged a bunch of covers in some of the shots.
Mhm.
Even though Boomerang is in his newer Thunderbolt style costume and not the cooler, more ridiculous Boomerangs everywhere
Well,
costume that I want.
I've been waiting for Boomerang to show up in the MCU, so I am on my way to see this movie.
Mhm.
I wish we had a movie theater here. I probably would have already seen it by now. That's the one shitty thing about living here is I got to drive 4 hours to go see a movie.
That is pretty shitty.
Yeah, it sucks. Otherwise, everything is great.
But on the flip side, you're one of the tallest people in town. So,
I am amongst the tallest people in town.
Wes just goes around breaking stuff. Yeah, like Wes smash.
Nah, that's the
And everybody runs. They're like, oh, the 5'11" man approaches. Run.
Gojira!
We do have some super chats. Mr. Skotsky says Peter Parker lost Aunt May, Ben Reilly, and the baby in short order. And MJ survived all that and kept trucking. No way he sells his marriage out to the devil. The marriage is my favorite part of Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man making Faustian deal is the most out of character thing in the history of comic books.
Okay, because Mephisto was afraid that their daughter had a role in his downfall in the future. Is that right?
That
Was
sounds
that-
like some retcon.
Okay, I was trying because that's what I know of the deal. Like, why Mephisto wanted to that was the price, was their marriage, because potentially MJ and Peter's daughter, maybe it was Mayday, maybe
because
not.
he's the devil and he's a horrible thing and he wants to
But-
ruin things that are
Well,
beautiful.
the bigger question is when before or since did Mephisto have the power to alter reality?
Yeah. That's never been established until that moment. He's not God, he's the devil. So that's
He can only give you things in the present. He can't retroactively change time. That's never been part of
Apparently now
Mephisto's
we
power
can.
set.
well
But
because
he hasn't
yeah,
done it since, because the universe should be resetting all the time then.
yeah.
Because Mephisto should be showing up to any hero who's had a tragedy, and it's like, would you like to fix it?
Mhm.
Actually, that'd be a good way to get us
a
out
bad
of the-
week and he decided to break the rules.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way for us to get out of the current Marvel universe and just reset it back to a good point. If Mephisto's got that power, just have somebody make the deal that, boy, all this sucks. And he's like, you're right. Would you like to change it?
No, what they should do is have Galactus just show up and finally just eat the planet Earth. And then we go to one of an alternate Earth someplace where Peter Parker is just getting bit by a spider and the Fantastic Four are just going up into space and you start it all over again and get rid of all the crap.
I don't know, man. If Galactus shows up, Wes is going to want him to get pushed back, 18 blocks into a portal.
Whatever. Just because I'm willing to suspend disbelief in a good film and you guys aren't, I don't know what to tell you.
I thought
It's better than
A good film.
you take Pedro Pascal out of the movie and the Human Torch. He was terrible too. And that I thought
And the
Fantastic Four-
Silver Surfer.
I would.
she
Yeah,
did a
I
good
think the
job.
casting was awful. Everything
Yeah,
about the film
I
was fine.
think that's insane. The
film was
casting is
fine.
by far the
biggest
least
problem.
issue with that movie. Like,
I
You
thought
go
it
to
was-
Superman and he's beating up an R-coded Superman. That's awful.
I mean, I think Galactus was far more R-coded than Bizarro. At least Bizarro was fighting back.
Wait,
No, it
we should.
wasn't. They were
We should.
using it like a
This big
fucking-
moment. Oh,
using like a game controller, like combo hit and stuff like that. Remember?
Yeah, and he took out the cameras, and obviously Bizarro could still fight because he kept fighting when they were like, "Oh, we can't do anything," and he kept fighting.
The thing I loved about the FF movie was the accidental pro-life message that they put in there that they probably did not intend to put in there.
I think you're right.
I liked Derby. I thought he was great.
You know what he's doing right now, Dylan? Wes is just doing the "I like the money pit." That is my answer to your statement.
You know,
I think the Fantastic Four was a perfectly average movie. I think Thunderbolts was better.
Perfectly average movie. I like
you
it.
just said it was a good film.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably.
You
a
have
stretch. I don't think it was
you
good.
own a T-shirt from the. You own merch from the
Whoa.
movie.
My wife bought me a T-shirt because
she
loves
knows
me, and
you.
she buys
Exactly.
me,
There you go.
comic book stuff, and she didn't realize. I was like, okay, I guess I'll wear
Like, this is your favorite film, so I got you the shirt for it.
I got a Black
That's
Panther
actually how that
Wakanda
went.
Forever shirt too. It's not my favorite movie.
You
You
love
you have to admit it's the best FF movie ever made.
That is
Thank you.
true, but that's not a high bar.
no, the best FF movie ever made is The Incredibles.
Well, no, that's true, but
Incredibles is great. Fantastic.
movie actually called the Fantastic Four. This was the cream of the crop.
I just like what Wes is like. I don't really like the movie shirts, and his wife's like, you love Mr. Mustachio, the leader of the Fantastic Four. You love him.
Well, she goes to the store, she brings me back a shirt, and I wear it. Just
That's
happy to be
right.
Fantastic Four. I didn't pick that thing out, but I'm not going to not wear it. I love my wife.
It's nice that she thought of you.
Exactly. She knows I'm a nerd. She assumes I probably liked it.
Hmm.
It's all right. Bankesh says, what do you guys make of Dynamite's Ben 10 from creators from Man of Action, Joe Casey and company? It's sold out and it's gone for multiple reprints. I've read the first 2 issues, Dylan.
I have
And,
also read the first 2 issues.
I've watched a lot of Ben 10, watched a lot of the different series because my oldest is absolutely obsessed with Ben 10, or was for a time. He's even got his own Omnitrix and everything. And I think the story itself is fine. The art's weird.
The art is terrible. They should have got a good artist, but it's Dynamite, so
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to know what they pay for the page rates?
Yes, I do. I mean, I know
$75
some of it.
maybe.
Okay, this was a while ago, so this would have been
And this is you.
yeah, it's me. But so Dan Jurgens was doing a Tarzan series. He was writing it.
Very good. Yes, I like that one.
And he said, call Aaron Lopresti and see if he wants to draw it. And so they contacted me and I said, okay, what's the page rate? And it was $150 for pencils and inks. I was like, I can't do that.
And that's more than most people get.
Yeah. And so I was just like, that's like less than half of way less, about a third of what my DC rate was for the same thing, So I was kind of like, I can't do that. But yeah,
his Tarzan book was actually pretty decent.
Dan's a good writer. I enjoyed working with him on Justice League International. That was a really fun book. And he's one of those guys that I talked about earlier. He knows, obviously he's an artist, so he knows, but he knows how much stuff to put on a page, knows how to paste stuff. And so I had a blast working with him on Justice League.
What was that Dan Jurgens book he put out last year, Dylan? The Superman book?
yeah, the 2025 Treasury special. Yeah,
That
that
thing
was really good. That was great. Yeah, with Bruno Redondo, it was really good.
Yeah. We need more Dan Jurgens.
I agree.
Yeah. So there we go. All right, I guess that'll start wrapping up the show. I guess we can get to some comic book recommendations, and a huge thank you to Mr. Lopresti. I'm sorry about the miscommunication. That was all my fault. I tried to blame Aaron Sparrow, but I'm pretty sure.
Well,
I'm the reason that you were late. I apologize.
No, actually, I'm the reason I was late. I did get the on Twitter or X. You sent me the whole, or Sparrow did. One of you guys. Who sent me? You did, Wes.
It was Wes. I did nothing.
Sent me all the stuff, and I was like, okay. And because I remember Aaron saying at San Diego, oh, we should have you back on the show, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. But nothing was ever like formally. Let's do it on this date. So I saw the stuff come up.
That's
there
not true. That's not true. I said to you in the booth, I said, we'll have you on next Saturday.
Well, I might have not been listening to that part of the conversation. So, but anyway, so I saw this stuff and I was like, oh, I got to get back and check the date on that. And I just forgot to go back and check the date. So I'm glad Aaron texted me because I totally spaced it. So that's on me. I apologize.
No, it's been a great show. We've really enjoyed having you as a guest.
Thank you.
Are there any projects that people need to know about right now, or comic books that you've made recently that they should be looking out for?
Well, yeah,
Barbaric Adventures link is in the chat.
Yeah, Barbaric Adventures is still up and running, about halfway through. If you guys give me 1 second, I will grab a page I want to show, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
I run off camera real quickly.
We love seeing pages. We
All
love
right,
when,
Sully Powder. Be
Okey
interested.
dokey. Well, I got Kneel Before Doomface in the mail, and this is great. It's a really fun book, so go and get your copy. Hit up Mr. Sparrow himself. I picked up another crowdfunder.
Oh, you're jumping in there. Okay.
I got
Let's do it.
Yeah, I got Uncanny
Phenomenova.
number 4. This is an X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 174, 176, 176 tribute cover. And way to go, Von Coleman. I got 2 books this week on my pull list. I got Aaron Sparrow's favorite book, The Savage Dragon 281. I'm covering up that cover because it just might be a little too racy for our family-oriented fare here. But it's just a giant sex farce, and it's poor and it's body ribald humor, and I kind of like it. And it's tacky and it's awful, but you know what I mean. Hey, they're fun comics for me.
Kind of like your shirt.
Yeah, kind of like my shirt. Yes, which I got from a
The
YouTube ad.
psychedelic pimp.
I
I
love
don't
it.
know how to tell you this, Sully, but for a guy who didn't like Jurassic Park because it was too loud, you should take a look at your shirt.
Dude.
Does your shirt have an off button?
Yes, it does. And my pick of the week is this wonderful book by Joshua Williamson with great pencils by Eddie Barrows. It's the Superman 2026 annual. This is really good. If you like, this is leading up to Legion of the Superheroes. It's showing us the real Superman who's been missing in action since the end of DCKO. And this is a really good book. Superman fans, pick this up. Don't sleep on the annual. This is really important. And that's that. And those are my picks of the week. Thank you, everyone out there in TV land. And
Dylan, how has
best
this
chat-
guy not started reading Geiger yet?
Who, me?
Because he's too busy with Savage Dragon.
Yeah, dude, all the antics in Savage Dragon. It's very
Geiger's
soapy. I mean, they're just like all this melodramatic relationship things. It's a sex
Terrible.
farce. It pisses Aaron off. You know,
It's terrible. It's just the worst.
I love the art. I love because Eric Larson's art right now looks somewhere between Frank Miller and Howard Chaykin, and I'm loving it. I love the poses. I love the splash pages. I love the superhero antics of it. I mean, just like and then there's a lot of dumb stuff, and it's just dumb humor when it comes down to it. And yeah, I kind of like it.
Very nice. All right, Miss Lopresti, you're back.
Yeah, let me show this if I can.
Very nice. I love
So-
dinosaurs.
Oh, look at the
This is
detail in that.
Wow.
So the whole my whole story, there's 3 stories in Barbaric Adventures, but mine is kind of a interdimensional dinosaur caveman thing. And it's all done in all 3 stories by the different artists, David Williams and Dan Lawless, are all ink wash or gray tone, different mediums to get there. But I'm using straight ink wash like the good old days from Savage Tales. So this is just one of the pages from my story. So it gives you an idea of how much work I'm putting into it. And it's easy to say I'm really pleased with what I'm doing, but I'm really excited about this. And so if you haven't backed this book, it's on Indiegogo right now, Barbaric Adventures #1. And it's a black and white magazine style, like Savage Tales.
I want to buy that page.
This is it.
There it is right now. So real quickly, there's 4 cover options. That's my painted cover. They're all painted covers because we wanted to be kind of like, like I said, do like a Savage Tales type thing. Mine is more of an Edgar Rice Burroughs type story than a Robert E. Howard, but and David Williams painted cover here is a young knight that has to battle demons to become a true warrior. Dan Lawless's futuristic Mars setting that is fallen into chaos, and so you have this weird mixture of sci-fi and barbarism in his. And then I got Joe Jusko to do a cover for us. This is Freya the Ice Princess, and she's a Yeti hunter. And there's going to be a short preview story by me of this character in this book as well, along with the main 3 stories that we're doing. So, and there's
that's very Robert E. Howard right there.
Yeah. So there's, tons of extra stuff on the campaign. But yeah, go check that out and back it if you haven't, because this is one of these things that I think if you don't get it, you're going to be sorry you didn't, because it's a really spectacular looking book. I've seen work that not only what I've been doing, but what David's doing and what Dan Lawless is doing. And it's just really, really nice looking stuff. And the stories are really cool too. So
well, congratulations on that. And is there anything new that you're reading that maybe you'd want to recommend to people? I know that you're very, very busy, but maybe you're picking up something or going back and reading something.
I just got a copy of Kneel Before Doomface that I'm very excited to read. So
I hope you're ready to smile.
Yeah, I'm not, I am very bad about keeping up with what's going on in comics. I've got stuff laying around that I think the last thing I read was Sean Gordon Murphy's White Knights thing, or what's it called? that Batman thing. And that's
Batman
like
White
years old, isn't it? So,
yeah,
a little
it's a really good one.
I do like Titans Conan books. I think those are really good.
Fantastic. This week's especially was awesome.
I haven't read it yet, but
very good.
There's some good stuff. I got some of the collections back here in my spinner rack and everything. So I just think they're doing a great job with it. So
couldn't agree more. Mr. Sparrow, you came back from San Diego Comic-Con. Are you going to show us your toys? You're going to recommend a book? What's going on here? Oh, he muted himself.
I'm recommending Barbaric Adventures. I don't have anything else. I got no idea what's going on this week. It's all been recovery from San Diego and trying to catch up from the time spent there. So I got nothing.
All right, we got at least 45 more seconds of Aaron's face before I can tell you.
No, I don't know why I'm on the full screen. I don't like it. When we get to this portion, nice. I'm gonna start like doing that. I'm just gonna go off camera. So if you put it up, it's just the logo.
All right, Dylan, you got anything you want to recommend this week, dude?
Yeah, there were a couple good comics. I would say the Superman Annual Year 1000 #1 was pretty good. Eddie Barros kills it on there. I really enjoyed that. It does set up Legion of Superheroes. Geiger number 25 or 24. Sorry, 25 is the next one. 24 was fantastic. I really like what's going on there, and it seems we're getting a bit more consistent with it. We're getting it once every other month, and Geiger's been amazing. Really love that. And then Conan the Barbarian number 33 was a fun little pirate story. So a couple good comics this week.
Yes. Any big videos or streams people need to know about?
Nothing new this week, but there's always stuff on the channel.
No Spider-Man review?
No Spider-Man review.
Oh, very nice. Well, you should definitely start reading up on Conan the Barbarian from Jim Zub. Very good series.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
All right. Last but not least, Doc, what are you recommending this week?
Well, I'm going to recommend that people go and check out our review that we were supposed to record today, but didn't get to. And we're going to record first thing tomorrow morning of Queen in Black #1.
Dylan was a big fan.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 experts agree that Queen in Black was a movie that was, or a comic book that was released this week.
It had many elements of a comic.
It had two staples.
There was art and words. So, yeah, I'm going to recommend you go check out our review of that, as well as our conversation about the post-Armageddon Marvel Universe with the X-Men taking over for the Avengers and all that stuff.
I can see why you want to
And-
do that because X-Men has been so good.
I know, right? Although I am going to say that I am looking forward to Maximum X-Men. It looks like a good creative team. Tony Daniel and Chris Yost. I'm down. I think I can get behind that. So, in the interim, I actually went to a comic shop. It was 4 days ago. So, it was nothing this week. But Terminal.
It was good, wasn't it?
It is. It's interesting. I'm curious what they're going to do with it. I'm intrigued. They didn't have any of the regular cover. They had a couple of the other variants, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm going to have to get a variant, I'm getting the regular cover, but in foil. So, and then I'm going to recommend, this was also last week, G.I. Joe, because it was still really good. The Crystal Ball story is actually really good. I like it. I like the way that they introduced Crystal Ball. I like the way they introduced the Dire Tech and everything there. And then finally, this is a book that a lot of people are just forgetting about. I think they're sleeping on it. Darkness. It's the reboot. Yeah, I mean, it's like a reboot of The Darkness. It's actually pretty good. And, that first issue had great art, Ed Bennis art. The other ones have been, they've kind of cycled through a couple of, I think, 2 other artists so far. But this Agustin Padilla is actually pretty good. He still has a little bit of work. He's not as polished as I'd say most of the top cow artists of back in the day were, but it's still pretty good. So I'm going to recommend that, and that's it for me for this week. I got 3 Image books to recommend.
Very, very cool. And we got Fade Cheered says we're recommending #Stave Stargate. Cameos, ladies.
I don't know what that means, but
I think it's Danny and Comics and.
oh, okay.
I think that's what that's in reference to. But obviously, the Stave Stargate is the campaign to get the Stargate show back to Greenland, since it was turned down because it was too fan friendly.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't want to please the fans of the thing.
You know what the problem with this Stargate project is? It's aimed a little too much at Stargate fans. we need to change it up a little bit.
This
But,
explains
this is
kind
about-
of all of Hollywood's problem, doesn't it? It's
Yes,
like it's made too much for the people that like it.
Yes, this isn't going to work.
be
for us.
making it for the people that fucking hate it, because the people that like it are already going to watch it, right?
How do we appeal to those who have no interest whatsoever?
Exactly. So this is a fun show. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate all the support. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you again next Saturday on the Comics Aficionados. I almost left the stream instead of ending it. That would have been
Go back
That would've been
Barbaric
funny.
Adventures, everyone.